Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a soggy yet now beautiful Huntington Bank Stadium for a delayed start time of the Minnesota Golden Gophers season opener against the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. It downpoured here for about an hour or so before game time, making decision makers behind Huntington Bank Stadium move the game back an hour, so now we're at an 8 p.m. kickoff time. I am Jack Bartlett, and joining me in the booth for the first time, his first game, Mr. Tim Serb. Tim, how does it feel to be up here in the broadcast booth? I know you said that you've loved listening to sports broadcasters in the past, as well as even commentating on games while you're already in the stands.
It is so good to be up here. It is so much better of a view than being stuck between 55 people in a row in the middle of the student section. So nice and refreshing, nice and spacious. Love it.
Yeah, it's a great section that we have up here. Special thank you to all of those who make this possible, most notably Mr. Paul Rovnak, who has been an awesome connection for all of us here at Radio K Sports. But we start out the year in football season, and college football is in the air. Rutgers is underway against Howard, and then probably the biggest game, with the exception of this one tonight, is Colorado facing off against FCS school North Dakota State, former powerhouse. They weren't as great last year, but we'll keep an eye on both of those games as well as the rest of the Big Ten action happening here on this Thursday night. In terms of the student section, like Tim said earlier, every freshman gets a free ticket to the first game to use in the first game. So the student section is about 85% full with all those freshmen getting the tickets. So good to see the people show up, even if they did have free tickets, coming through the weather, coming through the rain, and finding their way into Huntington Bank Stadium. Elsewise, or otherwise, it's a pretty low smattering of gold and other fans across the stadium. I'm assuming those seats will fill in as game time nears. We're about half an hour away from kickoff, and before we do that, let's go through a season recap. From last year, the Golden Gophers finished 6-7 overall. Of course, adding on that bowl win, they finished 5-7 in the regular season, but ended up getting a bowl game because of their academics. They were actually the highest academic 5-7 team, and there was an additional team needed because there weren't enough teams with 6 wins. So I'll throw it over to Tim for the first part of how they got there.
Starting off with our home opener from last season, my first Gopher game against Nebraska, 13-10 thriller, defensive battle, comeback win in the second half with a beautiful toe tap catch to tie the game in the fourth quarter by Daniel Jackson, and of course a game-winning field goal by Dragan Kesic to walk that one off 13-10. Next game, also a home game against Eastern Michigan, nice solid 25-6 win. Good offense, good defense. Bit of a sloppy game, but we got it done. The third game, of course, against the North Carolina Tar Heels did not go so well last year. We're getting blown out 13-31 by getting absolutely pummeled by Drake May and their air attack.
I'm going to go a bit more in depth on that game a little later when we go as an overview. Obviously, Drake May no longer with UNC, so we'll see a mix of Max Johnson and Connor Harrell from the quarterback position. They split first team reps in warm-ups and in the practices throughout the training camp that UNC had. So far, Johnson has been named the starter for the game, but we'll see if both quarterbacks are used, as UNC head coach Mac Brown, now the winningest active head coach, with Nick Saban retiring his 282 active wins, is the most and is good for 7th all-time in college football. Certainly a college football Hall of Famer when he calls it quits. Moving into the next 3 games of the season, after that North Carolina loss, Minnesota got out to a hot start in Northwestern, going up 31-10, and immediately squandered that lead in one of what I would call the 2 worst losses of the year, and really was the undoing of numerous things, where Ben Bryant, not Bear Bryant, the famous head coach, but Ben Bryant destroyed the Gophers through the air, just throwing bombs downfield. Gopher secondary had no answer. and they ended up losing on the first play of overtime, 37-34 in a shocker. Then they come back here for the homecoming game against the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns, and of course, homecoming has not been kind to the Golden Gophers in the past, and they were heavy favorites against Louisiana. Did not play their best game, but did end up getting the win, 35-24, after securing a couple key turnovers and putting points on the board. That was their highest scoring game of the season. Then third and final game for this chunk of games was against the Michigan Wolverines, eventual national champions. Ethan Kaliakmanis, who is now at Rutgers, we will have an eye on his performance, especially today as well. Threw a pick six 12 seconds into the game, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game as the Gophers got steamrolled 52-10.
After that Michigan game, the Gophers bounced back at Iowa with their first win in 10 years against the Hawkeyes, and of course their first win in Iowa City since 1999 after the controversial invalid fair catch by Cooper DeJean, and the Gophers held on to win 12-10 in very windy conditions. Then the Gophers came back home, played Michigan State, played a very good overall game, solid offense and defense, lots of turnovers, capitalized on those for a nice 27-12 win. And then the undoing of the season began, going into that game against Illinois, coming in at 5-3, leading the Big Ten West, and then having a lead in that game and then squandering it yet again, having the Illinois Illini pinned in their own territory with their starting quarterback getting hurt, and then still losing in a heartbreaker, 26-27.
That one was especially demoralizing for me because the Gophers have notably been unable to beat Brett Bielema. For whatever reason, Bielema plays the Gophers well every single time he plays them. And 4th and 18 at Illinois' own 11 with a backup quarterback, and you end up giving up a conversion for the first down, and they march straight down the field.
3 plays.
In 3 plays to walk it off, as I believe one of their receivers split our safeties. I can almost replay it in my head, seeing it on the far side of the end zone. They will have a chance to redeem that loss against Illinois. That game will come on November 2nd. Moving into the last 4 games, I'll cover the bowl game as well. At Purdue, pass coverage again was a problem for the Golden Gophers. Purdue, not a great team all of last year, and really not that dangerous or that tough of a task, most of us thought. But like I said, pass coverage was exposed, and the Gophers lost that one 30-49, giving up 49 points to unranked and I believe around 500. That
2-7.
2-7. Excuse me, I didn't know they were that bad. 2-7 Purdue, and then going to Ohio State, not much easier of a task than playing at home against Michigan. They put up a pity field goal and lost 3-37 in that one. The field goal came well into garbage time as Ohio State's defense manhandled the Golden Gophers. Then against Wisconsin, the ever-important game here at home. Even if P.J. Fleck were to win just this game, some people might see the season as a success. However, Braylon Allen ran all over the Golden Gophers that night, could not get the offense going for pretty much the entire game, and lost the axe again, 24-10. Then at Ford Field, facing off against the old nemesis from that hallowed homecoming game, or much more poorly remembered homecoming game against Bowling Green. Cole Kramer got the start and went 8 for 16 with 26 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. But the big story was Darius Taylor, 35 carries for 208 yards and a touchdown. Gophers had solid defense until the 4th quarter, but were able to hang on, keep P.J. Fleck undefeated in bowl games, and won 30-24 to take yet another bowl game. But biggest point, and something that we'll get into in a bit once we take a look at these two teams now as they are, Darius Taylor, who was the freshman standout last year, is out, has been confirmed out for this game as an undisclosed injury plagues him, so we'll get to see some transfers from into Minnesota. We'll explain a few more of those after our break, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of this opening season matchup. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our pregame program continues with a review of the visiting Tar Heels. They were 8-5 last year, actually started the season 6-0, and then proceeded to go 2-5 the rest of the season, including a bowl game loss that star quarterback Drake May sat out against West Virginia. We'll rattle off their results quickly. They had wins against South Carolina, Appalachian State in double overtime thriller, Minnesota, Pitt, Syracuse, and Miami to start the season. Lost by 4 in back-to-back games to Virginia and Georgia Tech. Blew the doors off of Campbell. Won another thriller against Duke by 2 in double overtime, 47-45. Then ended their season on a 3-game losing streak, a 20-31 defeat against Clemson, 20-39 defeat against in-state rival NC State, and then a 10-30 loss against West Virginia. This is their first time facing a Big Ten opponent on the road since 2016, which was a 48-23 win against the Illinois Fighting Illini that we mentioned earlier. I'll throw it over to Tim for a recap of some more statistics from what happened in the Minnesota game where Minnesota visited Chapel Hill.
Yes, in that 13-31 loss, Drake May went off with 29 out of 40 passing for 414 yards. Notably, 287 of those were in the first half, with 2 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions, which the Gophers could not capitalize on. Ethan Kaliak-Manis, former Gopher quarterback, went 11 for 29 with 133 yards and an interception. Darius Taylor, 22 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown. Marion Hampton for the Tar Heels was notably injured before the game. He had 13 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. And Nate McCollum, star Tar Heel receiver, who is back today, had 15 receptions for 165 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely tore through the Gophers secondary.
Yeah, it seemed like the Golden Gophers were getting back in the game. They made it 13-21 early on, or about midway through the second quarter. Then UNC just stepped on the gas for the entire rest of the game, and the Golden Gopher offense had zero answers for the UNC defense that returned 6 of their starters, in total 15 across 5 on offense, 6 on defense, and 4 on special teams, who are back from last season. Drake May, like I said earlier, standout UNC quarterback, went to the Patriots with the 3rd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. However, we were recently informed he will not be starting in Week 1. Jacoby Brissett, as Tim said, will be the starter for the New England Patriots as they continue to search for a quarterback after the Tom Brady era. Omarion Hampton is another player to watch for this Tar Heel squad. He is 95 yards shy of 2,000 on his career, had 1,504 last year and about 500 rushing yards in a shorter 2022 effort, but he is notably one of the best running backs in college football, was right up there with Ollie Gordon in a lot of statistics last year, and is expected to be an elite force this year. Golden Gophers, if Darius Taylor was playing, this might be a matchup of 2 of the top 10, maybe even top 5 running backs in college football.
Yes, of course, Darius Taylor, the sophomore, true freshman last season, with that bowl game, having 208 yards, set a true freshman record for the University of Minnesota. He averaged 133.2 rushing yards per game in his 6 games that he played, which, if he would have qualified for the NCAA full season stats, would have led the nation, notably 8 yards, above Missouri's Cody Schrader, who came in 7th in Heisman voting.
Then the biggest news this offseason for the Golden Gophers, there's a couple of departures, notably Ethan Kaliak-Manis, like we said earlier, transferring to Rutgers. So where did the Golden Gophers go at quarterback? Cole Kramer graduated last year, so no viable option there. Tried to look internally, but instead went external. Of course, the transfer portal, the hottest button topic in college football these days. And they go to Division II for one Max Brosmer. Played at New Hampshire, had an outstanding season there last year. was the leader in FCS passing yards per game with 313 and a half, a second-team All-American, had almost 3,500 yards through the air, 29 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, and had 3 rushing touchdowns tacked on top of that, and was a Walter Payton Award finalist for Division II. So it is a big question mark to see how he handles these Division I schools, and especially a competition here early. Notably, the Golden Gophers don't schedule a game this difficult in the first week, and in fact, this is probably the closest game this week, with the exception of a handful of other games. None are coming to mind right now. The North Dakota State and Colorado game should be relatively close, but the line for this just set at UNC -2. So a 2-point favoritism towards the visiting squad. Most likely that's because of the question marks in Minnesota's running back room. Over-under total set at 52.5. And those running backs, like I talked about earlier, they're going to have to be a crowd of people who can step up into a big role with the Golden Gophers, because we know their offense and we know PJ Fleck's style of offense. We know they're going to run the ball. Most notably, C.A. Bangura, a transfer out of Ohio, had just over 700 yards there, I believe around 7 touchdowns. And then Marcus Major has 1 year of eligibility left and transferred from Oklahoma, coming from way down south to way up north. I'm imagining he'll have a lot of fun in that Penn State game in the winter.
Indeed.
So it'll be a split backfield from what I'm hearing between those two as we take a pause for the national anthem. Crowd getting extra loud for that anthem because there were 3 parachuters that parachuted into the open dome of TCF Bank. Oh, there's a 4th one. There's a 4th one. He's just coming down here to land on the field. Right across the block he goes. Lands right in front of his friends on his feet standing. Some USA chants breaking out there from the student section, and looks like the rest of the crowd slowly filling out, still not near capacity, but student section going to be about 110, 120% full, I'm estimating, for this game. Actually, we met 2 of the guys who are working with the coordination for the paratroopers in the dinner line in the media office. They were super nice guys, so shout out to all those who serve, as well as all those who decide to paratrooper in the United States flag.
Not a bad retirement if I say so myself.
No, indeed it is not. So we're about 6 minutes from game time. Gopher football team will start to show their heads outside of the tunnel right in front of the student section and be led out onto the field by the cheer squad. So, Tim, with all the things being said, with all the superlatives coming into the year, what are the keys of the game for the Golden Gophers to walk away 1-0?
I think the biggest keys of the game, number 1, is going to be the passing game. Can Max Brosmer really shift the culture here at Minnesota from just running to actually getting some meaningful passing yards? And the second thing that's going to be most key for me is our pass coverage. Last season, that was a severe problem, as noted by the Illinois blow-up, the Northwestern blow-up, as well as losing to Purdue. So if we can keep those things intact, I think the Gophers can go 1-0 tonight.
Of course, one of the other question marks coming into the game, to your first point, Daniel Jackson is in, not listed on the injury report, was questionable to play in this game, but the Gophers' #1 wide receiver from last year will be playing. I'm extremely curious to see how Max Brosmer does on a D1 stage. Nice that his first start's going to be at home in front of a friendly crowd that will be relatively quieter when he's trying to go to work on offense. But then on the other side, I'm looking at North Carolina's quarterback situation. Where is their quarterback, and how is their quarterback going to follow up an all-star performance by Drake May going 3rd overall, whether that's Johnson or Hamill?
Max Johnson,
remains
of course,
to see.
coming from Texas A&M. He was a starter there for a little while. Has a little bit of experience as opposed to his opposer, Mr. Connor Harrell, who played in the bowl game last year where they did get blown out by West Virginia. So that will remain to be seen.
Student section rowing back and forth for a longer time than normal as PJ Fleck will lead the Golden Gophers onto the field. Wow, is that a beautiful sight. Some fireworks going into the sky. Those are more advanced than last year. Love to see it as the Golden Gophers trot out onto the field. Of course, we got to mention the uniform combo because the Golden Gophers in the brand new NCAA 25 football game have got about 10 different jersey combinations, most of those with different helmets. Tonight they're going with yellow uniforms. They're new for this year, more minimalist, plain yellow uniforms with maroon numbers, some maroon and white piping on the shoulders. Then their helmet, a normal maroon mat with the M on both sides, no Goldie face, and maroon pants with a yellow and white stripe down the side. UNC, they're just about as consistent as any team with their uniforms. They're wearing their visiting whites, white with powder blue numbers and powder blue pants, as well as a powder blue helmet. One of the best uniforms in college football.
Indeed.
Love powder blue.
Who doesn't? Classic uniforms for a classic matchup. Not a common matchup, but boy, are we excited for it.
This is one of the tougher games on the Golden Gophers' schedule this season. They've got a couple ranked opponents, including Michigan, USC, and Penn State.
As well as Iowa.
Can't forget them coming in at 25. Waiting the call. Referee's mic seems to not be working. UNC has won the toss, I believe, and deferred. Ref's mic was really quiet.
Very quiet and muffled.
Didn't quite catch it. Derek LeCaptain and looks like
Jordan
Newman, brother of Tyler Newman, who went in the NFL draft, was the highest picked Golden Gopher. He went to join his former teammate with the New York Giants.
Indeed.
Highest picked safety as well. The Golden Gophers are going to have a couple question marks in the secondary too, with him departing. Justin Wally is still here. That's a big get for the pass coverage. He did not enter into the transfer portal nor the draft, which some people were expecting he had a chance at doing. But I digress. Once we figure it out, we'll tell you what's happening on the field. Warming up is Johnson with a couple of his receivers next to him. So it'll be Mac Brown against PJ Fleck. PJ Fleck is 50-34 in his 8th season at Minnesota, 80-56 in his 12th season overall. Most of those early seasons coming with Western Michigan. We are about a minute away from kickoff. The scoreboard playing the common memes and the common jokes around Walter White and Breaking Bad. And looks like UNC will be kicking. Yes, so they have won the coin toss and deferred, what I believe is the smartest choice in football. You always want the ball to start the second half. And we'll get another look at Gopher return man Quentin Redding, who had a handful of problems last year with retaining the ball and finding open space on kick returns. Notably, college football has not changed to the NFL style of kickoff that The offense and defensive sides, the kicking and returning sides, line up about 5 yards away from each other. And to avoid injury, that rule was implemented. I'll get into some more rule differences between college football and NFL football. But right now, we're just talking Gophers. The Vikings start next week with a home opener against the New York Football Giants. So they get to see two Golden Gophers back. Indeed. Or actually, it's in New York, is it not?
I think it's in New York.
It is in New York, so those two, John Michael Schmitz and Tyler Nubin, will not be making their way back to Minneapolis for the Vikings. So it's Quentin Redding alongside Nick Callerup, I believe. Or no, that's 27. That's Jordan Nubin. They will be the two return men, as we've seen with the Golden Gophers special teams consistently throughout my time here. Back to kick for the Tar Heels is number 37, Liam Boyd. He's a kickoff specialist only. Their kicker is Noah Burnett for the field goals. Boyd's kick is away. It's a laser towards the block M, lands on the block M for a touchback, and we'll start it up from the 25. Max Brosmer trots out onto the Golden Gopher field for the first time. Let's see if they can repeat their success in the first game last year. That was a nail-biter, real Big Ten West football game. Shout out to the Big Ten West. You will be forever remembered for your defensive battles and poor quarterback play.
Indeed. Yes, a very, very questionable quarterback game from Jeff Sims back when he was starting for Nebraska. Of course, he got replaced mid-season. And here we go with Golden Gopher football this season.
Brosmer in the shotgun with Major to his right. Shifts over to the left. Brosmer will drop back to pass on the first snap of the season, waiting and now rolling out to his right. Keeps rolling, and fires it out of bounds. Good protection and good coverage up front by the Golden Gopher offensive line. They're going to have a good game again, and most notably for the Tar Heels is Kamen Rucker. He was a run wrecker last season, had, I believe, 9.5 sacks off the defensive end. He wears number 7, a graduate student from Hartwell, Georgia. Two running back set for Brosmer in shotgun yet again. Snaps it and hands it off. Out the right side goes Daniel Jackson on the wide receiver handoff. I believe he got 2 there, so it'll be 3rd and long early for the Gophers.
Yes, definitely a good test for Brosmer to see how he handles the pressure. Even in a home environment, he looked a little shaky there on that first snap. Looked a little hectic, but let's see if he can get it under control here.
It'll be 3rd and 8, or it's 3rd and 7, excuse me, from the 28. Brosmer stands in shotgun again. 3 receivers to his left with Major on his right. And a jump there from UNC, or an apparent jump. They're pointing at the Golden Gopher offensive line. No flag coming. Brosmer takes a snap, drops back, hitches, throws over the middle, way too high. Missed a wide open Jamison Gears. And that is a 3 and out. Brosmer unhappy with the referees not calling that UNC jump. And early nerves starting to show. He slipped on the drop back and rifled it well over the head of Gears, who stands at 6'5".
Yeah, it's definitely showing a little bit of inexperience in such a big stadium.
That is another thing to keep an eye on. We did get about an inch of rain here in an hour, so field conditions may not be perfect. It is a turf stadium as Crawford readies the first punt. Aussie Rules football star punts it away, and UNC will get a chance to return. Up the middle goes the return man across the 40 and down at the 43. There is a flag on the field. It's all the way back at the line of scrimmage where it was snapped. This may benefit the Gophers if UNC ran to the kicker. I didn't see anything. There's an illegal formation penalty against the Golden Gophers, and that 5-yard penalty is tacked on, so UNC already almost at midfield to start their first possession. Elijah Huzzy is the return man, was a return of 20 yards. And with that extra 5 tacked on, that gives UNC some excellent starting field position. Now Johnson, shotgun with Omarion Hampton. Directly behind him, he gets the snap on the first play, bounces out right, and strong tackle there by Maverick Baranowski. Omarion Hampton picks up 4. This UNC offense, it's curious to see how it changes. They ran the ball 37 times and threw it 44 times in the earlier game against the Gophers because the defense couldn't get off the field. It's interesting to see what they'll do with a fully fresh Hampton and a new quarterback. He'll drop back to throw, throws left-handed over to Hampton, dodges a Lindenberg tackle and slips up at the 45. It'll be 3rd and 4. Almost a great shoestring tackle there by Cody Lindenberg, who has struggled to stay on the field in his time, but is a great linebacker when he is.
Yes, definitely can see that the field conditions are not ideal, as the running back slipping there on the play, almost into the sideline and right into the tackle.
Johnson in shotgun, tight bunch, 2-2 receiver set with Hampton to his left. Crowd generating some noise, 3rd and 4. Wide receiver in motion. Takes the snap, looking left, firing left, and he does get the catch down, 1 foot in bounds. What a play by J.J. Jones. Number 1 wide receiver from last year and number 1 receiver this year, moves the chains on 3rd and short.
Yeah, definitely a good look. Very soft coverage by the Gophers, not going too aggressively. And it definitely did not pay off on that 3rd and 5.
The Golden Gophers have to take a timeout as Danny Strigo was late to get off the field. And looks like they might be hoping for a review there. Didn't get a great look on the big screen about if he was in or not. Gophers are not challenging. And we will head to our first media timeout on Radio K Sports. 0-0 with UNC at the Golden Gopher 38. We're back here on Radio K Sports. 1st and 10 from the Golden Gopher 38. After the completion is upheld, not challenged by the Golden Gophers, and they have to burn a timeout to avoid too many men on the field. Strigo was on the far side of the field and was not informed that he had to hustle off. PJ Fleck burns his first. Cool formation here from the Tar Heels. They've got a running back in front of and behind their quarterback. He takes the shotgun snap, has to roll out to the left side, throws off his back shoulder and out of bounds. Good coverage there, not to bite on either of the running fakes. Jaw Joyner had to chase Johnson towards the far sideline, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line spoiling that play, as well as good coverage down the field, which is what you like to see early from the Golden Gophers defense.
A lot of young playmakers that are going to have to step up in the secondary. Aiden Gausme, Coleman Bryson are the two safeties back deep. Of course, no more Newbin. Another snap taken. Hampton up the middle. He's met and just keeps plowing forwards. Tough running there from Omarion Hampton. Creates a 3rd and manageable instead of a 3rd and long.
Interestingly, the second missed tackle by Lindenberg so far. I wonder if they're just slipping out there on those tackles.
Hurry up offense. Johnson in the shotgun again. Gives to Hampton. Hampton bounces outside. He's tripped up and he'll be short. Good stand there by the Golden Gopher defense. I think UNC got to the 30-yard line. It's a 4th and 2. Their offense is taking a look towards the sideline, looking to set a precedent early.
Looks like they're going to stay out there.
They're going to stay out. Crowd will get extra loud for this 4th and 3. They're going to mark him from the 31. 3 receiver bunch set to Johnson's right. 1 receiver alone on the left. Hampton in the backfield. Gets the snap, dropping back, left-handed throw outside. Too far outside. And the Golden Gopher defense makes a huge stop on 4th and 3 on the out route. Turnover on downs.
And that's what we talked about early. Would the Golden Gophers be able to cover the pass? And so far they are able to. North Carolina really looking to run towards the outside sideline. Not sure why they're doing that, but it does not work out this time.
Way to force that throw. Danny Strigo out in coverage, dropping back from the defensive end position, drops out and to the far sideline to cover the underneath reception. And Johnson has to try and get his receiver. I think that was Jones again, a toe tap catch. Good zone coverage there and good length from the Golden Gopher defensive end. 11:27 remaining in a scoreless first half. Golden Gophers will start their second drive from their own 31. Is on 2nd and 3. I think that'll bring up a 3rd in the same distance. UNC just loading the box right now. There's nobody barely even 10 yards downfield.
Brosmer waited to decide to hand it off, which didn't help. But yeah, they're just all over that box right now.
They've got their run stuffing unit in there right now, notably with Joshua Harris Sr., big number 6, right in the middle of things, alongside Travis Shaw. 3rd and 3, under 10 minutes to go. Brosmer shotgun again, drops back to pass, screen pass out to the running back, and he's cut down. Strong tackle there from UNC's number 28, Elijah Huzzy. And that's another 3 and out for the Golden Gopher offense. Jordan Newman on the reception. He just had nowhere to go. Huzzy read that well. He'll be back to return the kick as well. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of creativity being brought out here early on.
Yeah, like I said, the key of the game is going to see if they would let Max Brosmer pass. And after that first drive, it doesn't appear P.J. Fleck wants to pass.
Crawford, laser of a punt. Going down towards the sideline, takes a Minnesota bounce, rolling down inside the 5, 4, 2.5 yard line for Mark Crawford. Boy, that punt didn't look great off his foot and just skipped right. Of course, that wet turf helping it along and pins UNC deep in their own territory.
60-yard punt.
The Aussie rules punt, which is really becoming popular in especially college football these days. Crawford runs forward slightly and gets some extra mustard on the ball. Kept it out of the hands of Huzzy, who had a 20-yard return last time, and will pin UNC inside their own 5. 9 minutes, 8 seconds to go. UNC's second offensive drive coming up when we return. The classic Mr. Brightside by the Killers playing during that commercial break. Always gets the student section into it. Notably, Tim and I, not huge fans of that song, but we're huge fans of Golden Gopher football.
Indeed we are.
Johnson with his feet in the end zone. Hampton behind him. Hands it off. Hampton up the middle. Is stopped and stood up by the Golden Gopher defense. A gain of just 1 and forced back to his own goal line.
Yes, good stop by Eastern there, staying strong with the running back running right into him. Just bear hugs him.
Henderson and Lindenberg combo for that stop. Looks like just a gain of about 1.5 yards. Gives UNC some breathing room. Johnson still with his ankles in the end zone, now with Hampton off to his right rather than behind him. He'll roll out to the far side of the field, looking for something downfield, cuts upfield and stumbles. The turf monster got him, which we're going to be seeing more and more this evening, and it'll be 3rd and 6.
Great coverage on the outside by Ethan Robinson, really getting out there. J.J. Jones was going for the sideline yet again, and he just stopped that throw from happening, caused Max Johnson to slip.
2 and 2, 5 on the line for the Golden Gophers. Lindenberg showing some additional pressure. 3rd and 7. Big spot here, could flip the field for the Golden Gophers if they are able to get a stop. Yelling instructions is Johnson. Claps twice, now gets it. Left-handed throw towards the sideline. Almost picked off. Oh my goodness. Golden Gophers almost had a huge swing. Zaquan Bryan had it right in his hands after J.J. Jones slipped yet again, another time on that far side of the field.
He's running the same route
Might have
every
been
time.
close, and it hit him directly in the right hand.
It's all right. He's excited about it, though.
That might have been a pick 6 to get the Golden
no.
Gophers on the board, but now UNC has to worry about getting the punt off. Punting with his ankles just mere inches from the back line is Tom Maganes.
We saw him punting in warm-ups, was only getting it to about the 35.
It's a low laser, skips off the field, goes past the 50, friendly UNC roll. Just crosses the 40 and down to the 39, so good punt there just to get it rolling. Honestly, Quentin Redding probably should have stopped that a little earlier, but of course then you risk it taking an awkward hop, and then UNC taking it the other direction. 7 minutes, 37 seconds, nothing much going for either offense. Just 33 total yards combined between the two teams. Gophers with 11, UNC with 23 on each of their first 2 drives.
Yeah, Quentin Redding reading the field, seeing that low punt. I think it was fair for him to not take that one.
You never know what the slippery conditions are going to bring. Of course, those low punts are going to skip much easier, as we saw Mark Crawford do. Brosmer under center. Don't see this too often from the Golden Gophers. That's Major behind him. Heavy set yet again here for the Golden Gophers to start the drive from their own 39. Handoff, Major bounces outside, tries to go through a man. Looks like he picked up 1.5 yards. Not much going, actually no gain there, says the referees. I thought he might have gotten to the 40. UNC's just loading the box every single play. They've got 7, 8, sometimes even 9 guys down there with just 2 free safeties leaking above the defense. So they need to see Brosmer complete a pass downfield before they start playing any other type of defense.
And given the conditions, there's no reason to not let them pass the ball.
Snap again. Brosmer under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Couple UNC Tar Heels got home there, led by Javari Ritzy. He loses 9 on that play. That was just blown up. Didn't get the ball out fast enough. Newbin tried to block, but there's just too many rushers as Brosmer turns tail and goes down. Gopher offense now at just 2 yards total on the first quarter. May have to see Brosmer's arm on this play. They may just punt this possession and give it to a safer handoff. 6:17 and counting. Brosmer will take the snap, drop back, and has to get rid of it quickly. It's caught. Jordan Newbin breaks a tackle. He might have a chance for the first down, trucks his way, and he's going to get there. Jordan Newbin on a screen pass. Brosmer is almost sacked, and Newbin bails him out, gets a first down out of it.
evading like Speedy Gonzalez. The tackle was there, but he just evades it like a cat.
Ankle tackle attempted by number 34, Caleb LaValle, linebacker from Smyrna, Georgia. Brosmer dropping back, launching downfield for Jackson, and it's going to be a pass interference flag. Jackson tried to get up over his man who was right in his face. Pretty cut and dry pass interference on Marcus Allen.
Yeah,
multiple flags on the field.
Not sure what Allen was thinking there. Went up, basically gave him a hug, didn't turn around. That's going to be pass interference every single time.
Referees conferring. The flags are at the exact same spot on the, looks like that's 29. Both on the defense. That's going to be 12 men on the field. I didn't even catch that one. And then it's going to be the pass interference against Marcus Allen. That will give the Golden Gophers a fresh set of downs, and now they're well into UNC territory.
Max Brosner was yelling for that 12 men on the field right before the beginning of the play. Good to see his composure, and then he could still get that play out.
Ball spotted on the 36. So Brosmer takes his shot downfield, doesn't hit his man, but gives the Golden Gophers a first down on the pass interference. Daniel Jackson made a heck of an effort just to try and get over his man. Wasn't able to wind up with it, but got the penalty.
Got two hands on it, though.
Brosmer shotgun again. Will walk up to the line. Audible play. Looks like he's audibling to the offensive lineman. Takes the snap, toss across to the running back, breaks a tackle, and gets about 5 yards there on first down for Marcus Major. So it looks like he is going to be running back number one. Looks like Bangura will see backup roles today, obviously with Major's experience at Oklahoma. That's kind of why he's getting the first team reps here in the first game of the season.
And surprisingly, Newbin's been in there. He's been doing quite well, had that great screen pass catch and first down. So it looks like they're going with those two options for now, but we'll see what happens in the rest of this game.
Another heavy set. Two receivers on Brosmer's left, a receiver and a tight end, as well as Major on his right. Shotgun, no handoff. Drop back, slant over the middle, that's caught. Great catch there by Elijah Spencer. And that's down to the 27, a yard short of first down. So now we'll get to see how the Golden Gophers can do run blocking, because this is almost certainly going to be a run on 3rd and short. Spencer got sandwiched in between two Tar Heels.
Made a very good catch, though.
Brosmer under center. Nobody outside of 10 yards away from the offensive line. Takes it and goes up the middle. He easily gets that, maybe even gets 4 on the push. That's something that Athan had always done well, and the Gopher offense had always done well, running right behind their center. And the Golden Gophers move the chains yet again. That's what you got with a tall quarterback like Brosmer. He stands at 6'2", 225. He's a pretty big quarterback as well.
Indeed. Good to see that they're using the tush push, as many call it. Famous by the Philadelphia Eagles, of course, led by former center Jason Kelsey.
I feel like Jason Kelsey has really opened up the spotlight to offensive linemen everywhere with his New Heights podcast, obviously with his brother Travis, and all of the things that he's talked about, how gritting and grueling and being an offensive lineman is. Minnesota will take another timeout here. Looks like there was some miscommunication with play calling. That's one of those timeouts you can't burn in games that are this close, because if the Golden Gophers wind up with the ball, they've already burned 2 of their timeouts with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left here in the first quarter.
And that's the one thing that I've seen just being in the student section for only a year. PJ Fleck loves to use his timeouts in the first quarter. I never did quite understand it. But that's 2 gone here. Only 1 left for a quarter, and 3:41 still left.
So we'll be back after a 2.5-minute break here on Radio K Sports with Tim and Jack. We're back here on Radio K Sports after a Golden Gopher timeout. 1st and 10 from UNC's 24. Brosmer under center. Fakes the handoff, rolls out, looking to throw, throws back to the running back. His throw was low and not brought in by Marcus Major. Looks like he wanted Daniel Jackson on the right side of the end zone, but he was double covered by UNC.
Yeah, they sent 2 receivers both to the corners. They sent Spencer out there too, but they were both double covered, so didn't get what we wanted.
Major was probably going to get hit hard on that play, even if he did wind up with the catch and not gain much. So we'll do it again from UNC's 24. Just on the edges of the Case IH red zone for the first time for either team today. Major, handoff, up the middle. He makes a cut, dancing cut out of the way, and he gains 8 on that play to make it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it looks like he just slipped there right after he tried to make his cut, but flew through the air over a defender to get a couple extra yards there.
Major starting to show his experience. He was a really solid running back with the Oklahoma squad and transferred here to the Golden Gophers because he knew he'd be fed the ball if he was healthy. And he's now showing out. Darius Taylor is going to have some competition. Major's looked pretty solid out of the backfield, whereas Taylor is more of a ground and pound pure runner. It looks like Major is available out of the passing game. They'll give it to him again up the middle. That's a first down. Golden Gophers across the 10 to the 7.5-yard line where they will have 1st and goal.
Once again, a test of the offensive line on 3rd down. See if they could be stable, and boy, did they open up one heck of a gap there for Major.
Starting to win the ground battle. That's what we've always kept an eye on throughout our time at the University of Minnesota. Can they win the line of scrimmage and punch it in here? 1st and goal from the 9. 2 receivers on either side for Brosmer. Switches Major to the left. He'll drop back to pass on 1st down. Fires, it's tipped and almost brought in by Elijah Spencer. Had to reach back for it, but no chance there as it was deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like Brosmer slipped again there on that throw. Looks like he can't get his footing as he just misses of Spencer crossing the field.
2nd down and goal from the 9 yet again. Brosmer under center, 2 tight ends set here. He's got Newman directly behind him. I like this Golden Gopher look where they're starting to put the quarterback under center more and give the running back some more room to get started. Newman cuts right, and there's nothing there. Great tackle around the edge by UNC's number 21, Caleb Cost.
Yeah, they're packing the box yet again. Only had 2 people back in coverage, and the Gophers decide to run it.
No hole there provided by the offensive line since UNC stacked the box, and that gave Cost ample time to come around the vacated right edge of the offensive line and make the tackle. 3rd and goal from the 9. Big spot here for the Golden Gophers, looking to put the first points on the board. Rather have it be 7 than 3. 2 receivers on the short side of the field for Brosmer. Major behind him. He'll hand it off to Major, who bounces outside, and he can't get away. Gains barely anything. And that's 3 consecutive runs from the 9-yard line. Not something you would actually, a pass and then 2 consecutive runs from 9 yards out that go basically nowhere. UNC's defense stands tall after the Golden Gophers stopped them on 4th down. They'll force a Dragan Kesic field goal attempt.
Interesting that PJ Fleck is not being very aggressive with the passing game. Maybe he's seeing that Brosmer's slipping just like I am. But it's interesting that you go only 2 receivers on 3rd and goal on the 9.
So 9 add 10 plus 7 for the extra height needed. Doing some quick math, that is a 26-yard field goal. Kesic's left-footed kick hits the upright and comes out.
The receivers on the sideline visibly upset after that series at 1st and goal.
Wire hit the right upright square on. And that's exactly what you don't want to see. You couldn't have hit the upright much straighter than that. UNC does not give up any points on the Golden Gophers' best drive. A big 3rd and 9 conversion there from Jordan Newman on the screen pass. Just can't convert it to points, and that's a rare Dragon Kesich miss from inside 30 yards.
Definitely a wacky start to the game. 4th downs really coming to it.
Johnson back to work. Takes the snap, play action, looking downfield, and he is sacked. He threw the ball away. The Golden Gophers might have it. Late flag way downfield, and the Golden Gophers think they have the ball. Looked like he was in the throwing motion and dropped it. There's a flag way back in the backfield. Might be holding downfield. That would be a tragedy if it was on the Golden Gophers.
Man, what a play by Jayonte McMillan, coming in, fighting through the running back block, and just absolutely decking Max Johnson.
That is a holding against Coleman Bryson way downfield. Flag was at the 39-yard line. That turns what would have been a momentum-shifting fumble recovery for the Golden Gophers into a huge gain for the Tar Heels. So that was before the play. Even so, that'll move them all the way to the 30. Johnson, shotgun. Hampton, gaping hole on the right side. He flips over a defender across the 45. Poor run containment there from the Golden Gopher defensive line. UNC with back-to-back first downs.
It'll be interesting to see how much the defense can remain composure, especially as they try to go hurry up here.
Referees will take a timeout. That's the end of the first quarter. UNC will switch sides, go away from the student section. We have a scoreless first here from Minneapolis. Both teams threatened at one point, but both were turned away by the upright once and by the defense another. Radio K Sports back in a minute. Start of the second quarter here from downtown Minneapolis. Now the sky fully blacked out. The bright lights of Huntington Bank Stadium are on. Hampton up the left side, gaping hole again. Bounces off a Lindenberg tackle, and another big play there. UNC's Omarion Hampton starting to get going. Now back-to-back carries of 10-plus yards. That one will go for almost 20.
And that's not what you want to see from Lindenberg. That's already the third tackle that he's had a great opportunity on that the runner has just slipped off of him.
That one actually goes for 16. If I'm UNC, just keep feeding Hampton. 6 carries for 43 yards. He'll start on Johnson's right. Takes the snap, Johnson drops back. Fires to the left side for his man, and broken up there. No pass interference, good coverage by the Golden Gophers number 2, Ethan Robinson, a transfer senior from Bucknell, from Montgomery, New York, in his last year of eligibility. Makes a strong play. That was definitely a holding. Referees missed that one. Had the jersey of J.J. Jones fully in his left hand.
Yeah, the refs are definitely being a little lenient on the pass interferences so far.
Brosmer, talking to his offensive lineman under center, now backs up. Hampton to his right, gets the handoff, cuts up. What a tackle off the edge. The Golden Gophers number 14. That's Kerry Brown from the defensive back side of things. Timed the snap perfectly and got Hampton wrapped up by the ankles.
Yeah, heck of a job by the redshirt freshman, just jumping the route and knowing that the running back was going to be there. Heck of a tackle.
3rd and 9. Bunch trips to Johnson's left. Hampton looking towards the sideline. Johnson will adjust the play. One a deep safety back there for the Gophers. They're going to put a bunch of guys on the line. Johnson drops back, steps up, evades the pressure, running away, trying to get the first down, and does get the edge. The Golden Gophers can't contain him. He's down to the 22. 15-yard gain. Way to use the legs there from Johnson. Didn't see anything open downfield. The edge wasn't sealed. Stepped around an arm tackle there by Anthony Smith. Scampered for 15. Another snap quick here. That was a wildcat formation. Hampton gets tripped up early on, but gets 3.
Yeah, definitely good to see that the Gophers' coverage is intact. Rushers just couldn't get to Johnson on that.
That was a little bit of a wild, or that was not a wild, that was a fake wildcat formation I saw. It was just a really quick handoff from Johnson. UNC does like to go no huddle on occasion. They take a brief one here to try and give the Gophers no time to adjust their defense. Shotgun again. Dropping back. Fades to his left-hand side again. There's a flag down on the far side of the field. He throws the ball wildly out of bounds after being tackled by Strigo. Flag is at the 22. I think the referees are going to call a hold here on the interior, if I could guess.
Justin Wally came running out of there, almost got Johnson in the backfield, but just missed him.
That is a hands to the face penalty on number 21. I think that's Craig McDonald. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah.
So another costly penalty on the Minneapolis, Minnesota native who was previously at Iowa State and Auburn. Normally when you see those penalties right at the line of scrimmage, it's a hold. That'll help UNC out yet again. 1st and 10, actually 1st and goal from Minnesota's 10. Bunch set here for UNC. Handoff inside, Hampton waits, goes up the middle. He's fighting for extra yards. Looks like he might have gotten to the 5 as the pile stops him and forces him back to the 7.
Yeah, Gopher defense definitely looking a little shaken up after all these penalties they've been committing. All these big gains. Let's see if they can hold their ground here.
That was the personal foul was for, it was a personal foul for a face mask was actually on Devin Eastern, number 91, not number 21. 2nd and goal from the 5. I wouldn't anticipate anything other than runs here for UNC. Another toss. Hampton outside, cuts up into the air and gets down to the 3. Golden Gophers are probably going to have to make two stops here.
He had a little pitch play. Luckily, the Gophers got to it and could stop him after he jumped into the air.
3rd and 3 from the 3. UNC will almost certainly be going for it if they don't get it in this play, barring a huge loss of yardage. Johnson again in shotgun. Receiver in motion. He'll drop back to pass. Avoids some pressure. Steps up in the pocket, and he dives for the end zone. Referees think it's close, and they say he got it. What a play by Johnson to evade 2 Golden Gopher tacklers. Dives towards the end zone. The referees say he's in. This play will be reviewed. Couple chances at it. Jack Henderson missed. Another miss. His knees may have been down early, and then he slid into the end zone. Golden Gopher defense think he was short, but they're going to give it to him. UNC answers the missed field goal by the Golden Gophers. And now Burnett is on to attempt the extra point. 9 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. An efficient drive from the visiting team that gives them their first points of the season. Waiting the snap, down, up, and through. UNC takes a 7-0 lead with 11-12 left in quarter number 2 from Minneapolis. Golden Gopher offense will look to repeat their success from last drive and punch it into the end zone this time here on Radio K Sports.
The heck you want to be
Back here
for?
on Radio K Sports. Just having a bit of a discussion about the Gophers' recruitment strategy in the past couple years as the boot for UNC lands at the exact same spot the first one did. Another touchback.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how the Golden Gophers offense comes back after that failed goal line, 1st and goal, and deciding to run it on 3rd and goal. Very questionable decision. We'll see how they react on this next drive.
So 11 minutes, 12 seconds. It looks to be a Golden Gopher team of old with a different guy wearing number 24. We're used to, of course, Mo Ibrahim 2 years ago and for 3 years before that as well. Mo was recently signed and then subsequently sadly cut by the Minnesota Vikings earlier this week. Brosmer, shotgun, major handoff, and he'll get about 3 on 1st down. Tackled there by a whole horde of Tar Heels, 2nd and 7.
Brockington looking a little shaken up. He's shaking his hand out after that last play as he heads to the sideline.
Lemecki showed signs last season where he would break off a big play, but it was mostly few and far between. Most notably, Daniel Jackson only has 1 reception for 3 yards, or 1 rush for 3 yards, no receptions. Brosmer, long hold, and gets the snap down. Play action, has to avoid some pressure, and he goes down. 2nd sack for this UNC defense. That's number 17, Amari Campbell.
And number 77, Quinn Carroll, definitely got fooled by the defender right there.
Brosmer had to step up in the pocket, and he had basically no chance immediately as that play started. So it's not just that the Golden Gophers haven't been able to push the ball downfield, it's that it's that Brosmer hasn't been given time. Now, almost certainly a pass coming here. 3rd and 11 from their own 24. 3 receivers. Deep drop, steps up, avoids pressure, and goes down again. UNC rushing 5, and it's big number 5, yet again, Javari Ritzy, 3rd sack already for UNC, and they're starting to get through this Golden Gopher offensive line. Just nowhere for Brosmer to go. He's cluttered in about a 2.5 seconds. There's just not much you can do there as a quarterback.
No, it's not even on Brosmer. He looks like he's trying to stay cool and collected, trying to look through his progressions. It's just he has no time.
Crawford back for another punt. Gets it away just in front of a UNC player. And it's going to be caught and fielded there. Cut across the far side of the field.
Block in the
side.
back.
That's going to be a block in the back against UNC. This return, wherever it does go, he's dancing around. Another flag at the 50.
Hopefully those don't offset.
A lot of yellow pieces of equipment. There's a Golden Gopher who's down on the play or slower to get up. That was number 24, Giante McMillan. First flag's all the way back at the 32, and McMillan is still on the ground. Looks like he's holding his calf area.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a block in the back penalty on DeAndre Boykins for North Carolina, and we'll see what the 2nd flag was for.
16 on 16, might I add. That was a block in the back on Coleman Bryson.
Sent him flying.
They will tend to the injured McMillan. 5'10", and he has 2 years of eligibility left to transfer from TCU, a redshirt senior.
Notably, he did break through and have that forced fumble that got negated by the holding penalty in the 1st quarter.
Looks like the referee's still talking things out and waiting for McMillan to get up.
PJ Fleck now running over to McMillan.
Not yet been sent to a commercial break. Referees now formally conferring. They had to talk to UNC's sideline. So there might be one against the Golden Gophers as well. That'd be hard to imagine on a defending the punt return. And in other news, North Carolina State, UNC's in-state rival, down 17-21 against who?
West Carolina.
There's an illegal formation
Notably the second illegal formation on a punt by the Gophers.
North Carolina has chosen to offset the fouls, and that's inexcusable. 2 consecutive illegal formations.
Especially after such a bad drive to just cap it off with an illegal formation.
Sideline warning against UNC. That block in the back, that would have been extremely valuable. The return was to around the Minnesota 45, but that block in the back would be spotted the foul and then moved even farther back from that point.
The aforementioned McMillan now being helped into the tent on the sideline after getting injured.
First time that's gone up for the Golden Gophers this game. That's never a thing that you'd like to see, especially from a guy who made an almost game-changing play early on in a very young Golden Gophers secondary. Try it again. Same situation. Crawford punting on 4th and 13.
Derek LeCaptain now in the game.
Gets the punt away again. This one is not nearly as strong, and that crosses the out-of-bounds line at about the UNC 47. So play will resume from there. 8 minutes, 37 seconds in the second quarter. Golden Gophers still with a goose egg on the scoreboard. We will see if their defense can help them get back into it and get the offense kick-started on Radio K Sports from beautiful TCF Bank. Huntington Bank, excuse me.
Beautiful what?
Back here from Huntington Bank Stadium, downtown Minneapolis. 9 o'clock local time, so we've been playing for about an hour. Golden Gophers have 12 minutes and 56 seconds, almost 13 minutes of possession, and Just a scant 45 yards to show for it. Tar Heels will start on the edges of Golden Gopher territory. Johnson back to pass, waiting, firing way downfield, and it's intercepted! Justin Wally back the other direction, cuts up the sideline, across the 50 and across the 45. He's still going! He bounds! Trying to make Hampton miss all the way down inside the 10! Justin Wally with a game-changing play!
What a play by Wally. Jumped the route. The throw was just way too short, and he capitalizes this time. What a play by Justin Wally.
Rips it out of the hands of the wide receiver. That wasn't a terrible throw. It was slightly underthrown, but looked like Bryson Nesbitt was the intended target. He kind of deflected it up. Justin Wally made multiple tightrope acts along the sideline, and Omarion Hampton had to drag him down, and now a game-changing play. Justin Wally gets it down to the 6. Wow. That's what we needed.
Let's see if the Golden Gophers can convert this to offense now. Here's where they stalled out last time. 1st and goal.
Justin Wally continues to make these huge plays for the Golden Gophers in the Madison game almost 3 years ago now with that incredible rip-away interception. He's been the Golden Gophers' standout cornerback for a while now. Max Brosmer under center. Major behind him. Fakes the cut. Now rolls out, throws to the flat. He's got a man open, and he slides and is tackled down, just a short gain of 1.
And that's new wide receiver from Penn State, Christian Driver, notably the son of Donald Driver, former Packers receiver, with his first reception as a Gopher.
Goes for just 2 yards, and you can see down on the field the rubber pellets that were kicked up as he tried to slam on the brakes and make a cut. There's just nothing going down there on the field, even though it hasn't rained for almost an hour and a half, or maybe about an hour. There's still plenty of moisture down on the turf field. Brosmer in shotgun again. Hands, Major, up the middle, and he's in! Golden Gophers turn the ball over with Justin Wally's incredible interception in return, and Major punches in his first Golden Gopher touchdown. Dragan Kesic on to tie it.
Yeah, the Golden Gophers convert for the first time inside the 10, inside the red zone. Beautiful run by Major, beautiful blocking. That's what you want to see out of the Gophers this year.
What a play, what a drive. Justin Wally, man, you just can't say more about the kid. What an inspiration. Dragan Kesic, extra point, up and through. There's a flag on the field. Looks like the UNC may have run over the
jump.
Try to jump it, maybe hit the guy who snapped it. Looks like they're tapping heads. None seem to be in bad spirits with one another. Referees will confer this penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Illegal formation. They lined up over the center. Extra point is good. And the penalty will be enforced on the kick. So the Golden Gophers tie it up after Justin Wally's almost 60-yard interception return down to the 6-yard lines, and 2 plays later, Marcus Major with his first Golden Gopher touchdown. We'll be back here on Radio K Sports now, knotted at 7 with 7.5 left. Back here on Radio K Sports, the students will have their keys out for the first time. Tim doing his part up here from the broadcast booth. Goldie will have to do his first 7 push-ups of the season, dressed in the Goldie cape, and he's got looks like a gold spandex suit on underneath that. Goldie always has great outfits, great outfit changes. We'll take note of those during Halloween. Those are always the most fun ones. As Kesic's kick lands right in between the 2 ends on the end zone for a touchback.
Goldie, of course, wearing the gold cape for tonight's gold out game. While the main crowd did not fill out nice, the student section still nice and full.
And
looking
full
beautiful.
of gold. Helped by the first 5,000 students were given a Golden Gopher replica jersey with the number 24 on it. I see plenty of those in the stands.
Got mine at home.
Love to hear it. Hopefully Goldie's doing a couple more of those push-ups. So let's see how Johnson responds after throwing his first interception of the season, a 70-yard return by Justin Wally. He'll go right back to the ground game, and Hampton is stuffed, but he fights forwards. Looks like he got about 2, maybe 2.5. But that's just how good Omarion Hampton is. He was hit at the line of scrimmage by 2 separate Golden Gophers, was able to keep those legs running with multiple Gophers hanging on top of him and get positive yardage. That's not the thing that's appreciated in the modern NFL, but I very much appreciate that in the modern Big Ten, those ground and pound running backs are still honored and praised. Throw to the outside, and it's bobbled and almost intercepted. Boy, that went right off the knee of J.J. Jones, almost picked off there by the Golden Gophers' Kerry Brown. Wacky deflection.
Very wacky indeed. I don't even think Kerry Brown even realized that it was coming towards him.
3rd and 8 from UNC's own 27.
Crowd really started to get into it now.
Johnson in shotgun. Hampton to his right, 2 receivers to his left. Takes the snap, dropping back, looking, evading pressure towards the sideline, and he is wrapped up and goes down. Danny Strigo with the sack, and the Golden Gophers forced UNC's first 3 and out.
Ja Joyner really applying the pressure there early, just missed Johnson the first time, but Strigo catches him from behind as he tries to escape.
Strigo made a good move just to get the ankles of Johnson, and then Ja Joyner wrapped up the sack. I think it'll be split by the 2 of them.
Yes, it will.
It will. UNC goes 3 and out after the interception, so Golden Gophers can retake the lead on this possession. Punter back for UNC is Maganes. Gophers look like they're going to try and block this one, get around a couple blocks, but Maganes hits another good one. Redding out there, makes the catch, tries to make a cut up field, and goes just 3 yards forward to the Golden Gophers' own 34. That's the drive you want to see from your defense.
Indeed. Nice to see that we can get a nice 3 and out here. Encourages the offense to get on the field, get rolling after that short little drive they had after Wally's interception. Of course, also nice to see Quentin Redding catching that ball and deciding to go with it. Last season, very, very, very hesitant to go for the returns. Whether that was his own decision or PJ Fleck's decision is not to be known, but it's nice to see him go for one here.
So now with 5 minutes, 59 seconds left in the second quarter, the Gophers are very apt and quite good at feeding the run game. They're averaging just 1.6 yards per carry right now. Marcus Major helping that out a lot with 9 carries for 35 yards, but they haven't been able to break one free for a run of 10 plus. Brosmer starts this drive in shotgun, gives it to Major up the middle. He won't get much of anything. 1, maybe 2. But the clock continues to wind. UNC still has all 3 timeouts. Actually, they're going to give him 3 on that play. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 38. Good push by the offensive line. Major just ran into the back of a couple of them. They were forcing UNC's defensive linemen to back up. Now 2 running back set. Actually, that's a running back and a wide receiver. Driver in the backfield. This is an unusual thing, unusual formation. Now Major splits out wide. Both guys vacate the backfield. Brosmer over the middle. Cowher up with the catch. Caught it with his heels on the 44. That's where they'll spot him down, 3rd and short. Student section wanted a first down on that play, but it'll be a 3rd and 1 instead. They'll bring in an extra tight end. I'm assuming another quarterback sneak up the middle tush push might be coming our way. They will split 2 receivers outside and put Brosmer in shotgun, so no quarterback keeper on this one. Takes the snap. Major bounces outside, gets across the 45, and that's a first down. That's exactly what you want to see. Good 2 chunks of yardage on 1st and 2nd down, and then convert those 3rd downs. Keep that clock running.
Nice to see Major getting rolling more, as the Gophers have been just averaging under 2 yards a carry. Good to see getting a couple more than that, getting the first down. Offensive line with a great blocking scheme there. You love to see it.
Spot on the Gopher 47. Now just 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Another bunch set here for both squads. Brosmer, Major, up the middle, dodges a tackle, and gets another chunk, 3 or 4 on first down.
Good to see that old Big Ten football tactic, just grinding it out. Started the drive with about 6 minutes on the clock, now down to about 3:36 and counting. Good old Big Ten football.
2nd and 7 from inside UNC territory to the 49. Newbin into the game. Major gets a 1-play rest. Daniel Jackson in motion across the formation. Brosmer, play action, has time, fires towards the sideline. Daniel Jackson with the reception and is tackled out of bounds at the 29. First down, Golden Gophers.
And that's his first catch of the game. We were just waiting for one play where the offensive line could keep and give Brosmer enough time, and look what happens. Daniel Jackson wide open over there, right by the 20.
It's a
29-yard line.
Confident throw by Brosmer, got it over the zone defense and to a wide open Daniel Jackson. Now the Golden Gophers starting to think about 7 rather than 3. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. That's a 20-yard gain for the Gophers' #1 rideout from last year. Brosmer trying to hurry up the play. Clock's down to 3. Gets the snap off. Will hand it. Up the middle goes Major. Spins around a man and keeps his legs turning down to the 22. Gain of 6.
Heck of a run there by Major. Really good spin move to keep it going. And this is the yards after the first contact by both running backs today has been incredible.
2nd and 3 from the 22. UNC not electing to use any of their timeouts. Gophers are plenty happy to let this clock run down. However, their offensive creativity as they get closer to the goal line is going to have to change. We will have a... There is 2-minute timeout. Is that a new thing in college football this year?
They have it, in the first half?
Yeah.
I think that is a new rule, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to the similar NFL style rule with a 2-minute warning. That's interesting. I didn't even know that.
Me neither.
So something unusual, and I'm sure you learn new things every day from the Golden Gopher football team and college football in general. They got a new game. They got new rules. Got plenty of new players as always. Golden Gophers back with 2nd and 3 from UNC's 22 on the doorstep of the red zone here on Radio K Sports. Back here on Radio K Sports, Tim with a Big Ten scoreboard update.
Illinois beating Eastern Illinois 17-0 in the second quarter. Rutgers absolutely pummeling Howard 44-7.
Then some other games coming up later on in the week. FAU visits Michigan State on August 30th, along with Western Michigan visiting Wisconsin. Then Penn State travels across the Appalachians to West Virginia. Iowa plays against Illinois State, Maryland, UConn, Indiana State, Purdue, Akron, Ohio State, FIU, Indiana. Boy, this list has gotten longer since the last time I've rattled off this many teams. UTEP, Nebraska, Miami, Ohio, Northwestern, Idaho, Oregon, Fresno State, Michigan, UCLA, Hawaii, Weber State, Washington, and then probably the biggest game in the Big Ten this week, USC against LSU in the Modelo Vegas Kickoff Classic. Back to action here from Minneapolis. Brosmer under center. Flag on the field. Major breaks it to the outside. That might be coming back. He stays in bounds and just goes out at the 2. That might be coming all the way back, however. Maybe a false start. Referees will confer. Golden Gophers walking back slowly. And
fireworks going off mistakenly.
That is a jump snap. Offsides on the defense. That penalty is declined by the Golden Gophers, and now they'll have a 1st and goal from the 3. I thought that was a false start on the Golden Gophers, but instead it goes against number 4, Travis Shaw. Now 1st and goal right on the doorstep. I anticipate nothing but 3 consecutive, or maybe even 4 consecutive Golden Gopher runs here as they try and get a touchdown in before the half.
Let's see if they can get it done in 1. That'd be great.
I hate to say it, but even getting it done in 2 wouldn't be too bad. UNC still has 3 timeouts, but forcing them to use 1 and or chewing more clock would be good. Major, handoff, up the middle, stuffed at the 2, push towards him, push on his back, and he's at the 1. Boy, was he close. Great work by the offensive line, keeping Major upright. And the clock continues to wind. UNC not utilizing their timeouts.
Heck of a job by Major here on this drive with that great run to the outside on the play before. And just chugging, just keeping on going, even when there's 7 Tar Heels wrapped up around him.
Another thing that we highlighted a lot last year, the Golden Gophers love to have the football in their hands. Even if they aren't working too well on offense, they're over 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes of possession, and they'll have more by the end of the quarter. Brosmer, QB keeper, up the middle. Looks like he's got it from our angle. Referees looking at the pile, and they say he's in. Max Brosmer with his first career college football touchdown, a 1-yard keeper, and the Golden Gophers take the lead.
Welcome to Minneapolis, Max Brosmer. Heck of a run to stay up and stay in the air and just let his guys push him in.
It's all about getting low on the bottom of that pile. The Golden Gopher offensive line does that very well. A 9-play, 65-yard drive. Took 5 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock. And capped off by Max Brosmer's first touchdown as a Golden Gopher.
And that's exactly the drive we've been waiting to see. We had that in the first quarter, but just couldn't get it done inside the 10-yard line. And they've been able to punt 2 straight in.
Kesich, left-footed extra point, up and through. So the Golden Gophers retake the lead on an efficient drive that chews up all but 55 seconds of the first half. UNC does have 3 timeouts, but notably Max Johnson only 10 passing yards on 2 for 8 completions thus far. We'll stay here. No more Big Ten commercial breaks left. That's a great thing to see from Max Brosmer. Always fun to score your first one at home. Going right towards the student section. Just another plus right there on the 1-yard quarterback keeper.
Of course, no better way to get hyped than to look up and see 10,000 students waiting to welcome you, getting excited.
Goldie's got some more push-ups as his homework before the half's over. Kesich will boot it away again. I'm assuming this one's going to be a touchback, just a wild guess. Laser of a kick. That's out the back of the end zone. Hit the upright, actually. Hit the middle of the upright and bounced out of the field goal. I think you should get something special for for kicking it through the uprights from that far away. That was impressive.
Wisconsin legend Dragon Kesich.
Shout out Oak Creek. Not necessarily shout out Wisconsin, but shout out Oak Creek.
The town, not the university.
Indeed. So we'll see what UNC's decision is here. They've got 3 timeouts, so time not really a factor, in 55 seconds. If they get something going downfield, get those receivers just opportunities. J.J. Jones, Nate McCollum have been relatively, if not completely, silent. Johnson drops back, fires over the middle, wide open. That's the man I just mentioned, J.J. Jones, picks up the first. Gophers just sitting back in shell coverage right now. There's many times where you see late in the second quarter, late in games, they just sit back, middle of the field's open. Another pass outside quickly to J.J. Jones, out of bounds, and there's a late flag that flies in. Are they going to... Referees pointing towards UNC.
Yeah, I think they tried to rush that play a little too much, might have jumped.
That's a pass interference call on the offense against wide receiver Christian Hamilton. So that'll back him up after the 8-yard gain on first down. 42 seconds remaining, still have not used a timeout. But that's something that the Golden Gophers do somewhat often, is they leave the middle of the field open, and teams can exploit that. If they've got 3 timeouts, the Golden Gophers are going to be protecting the sideline from those easy out routes that just stop the clock. But then they leave themselves vulnerable in the center of the field. UNC has to back up all the way to their own 23.
Most notably the strategy that lost us the Illinois game last year. With the backup quarterback in, they went right over the middle for 35 yards.
1st and 25. Johnson, quick drop, and he is brought down in the backfield. Anthony Smith.
Heck of a jump by Anthony Smith, just reading where Johnson was going to go and absolutely swallows him up.
Anthony Smith with a great play off the right side. Knew that Johnson loves to roll out to his left. Read him perfectly and gobbled him up for the Golden Gophers' 2nd sack. UNC uses their first timeout. They have a 2nd and 32 from the 16.
Golden Gopher defense definitely has stepped up since that penalty was called, really slowing down that North Carolina offense. And when they've been fast, they've been able to get yards, but not when they're playing without that pace. The Golden Gophers all over them.
2nd and 32 here from UNC. I anticipate just simple handoff and get it into the dressing room.
Rain starting to become a factor yet again.
Light mist appearing with the reflection of the lights. Hampton is in the backfield with Johnson. They've got a 4-receiver set. They'll try and open things up. Johnson directing traffic. Has Hampton to his left. Takes the snap, will throw again. Just a little shovel pass to Hampton, who bounces it all the way outside. Lindenberg, great tackle. Got him by the shoulder around the 21. Looks like UNC is going to try and run another play. Clock is winding down. They don't seem to be in much of a hurry at all.
Glad to see Lindenberg back out after missing those 3 tackles earlier in the game, getting just a great from-behind tackle over the shoulder. Beautifully done.
And UNC will head to the dressing room after that play. Golden Gophers surrender the first points of the season, but get 2 back on back-to-back drives and lead at the half 14-7. We'll be back in a bit for our halftime show and get you ready for the last half of football here from Minneapolis. Tim and Jack from Radio K Sports saying see you in a bit. Welcome back to Radio K Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Halftime show with Tim and Jack from up in the broadcast booth. It's turned into a beautiful night after the rains cleared out. It's cooled off from the humidity earlier this week, and we're having a pretty good night so far. The Golden Gophers up 14-7 over the visiting North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm going to run through some stats for you for the visitors right now. 93 total yards for the Tar Heels, 28 through the air, 65 on the ground, 2 penalties for 30 yards. Both teams got 7 first downs in the first half, and UNC with 11 minutes, 15 seconds time of possession. But Max Johnson has shown in the first half that he is not Drake May. He's just 4 for 10 for 28 yards and the interception that Justin Wally returned 70 yards the other direction to set up the Golden Gophers' first touchdown. Omarion Hampton led the way on offense for the Tar Heels, 11 carries for 55 yards, averaging a nice 5 yards per carry. However, receiving Jones, J.J. Jones, the only receiver with any receptions. He has 2 for 20. Hampton with 2 for 8, excuse me. Now over to Tim for the stats for the home team.
The Golden Gophers so far have 116 total yards, 53 of those out of the air, 63 on the ground. 3 penalties, some very costly, for 25 yards. 2 for 7 on third down thus far, but 1 for 1 on fourth down. Max Brosmer starting 6 for 10 with 53 yards in the air with a passer rating of 104.5, but the story, Major has 15 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown, really showing out in his debut. Daniel Jackson, of course, as our number 1 receiver with a reception for 20 yards, as well as Jordan Newbin with 2 receptions for 20 yards.
Like we said, possessions, something that the Golden Gophers like to control. They've got 18 minutes, 45 seconds to the aforementioned UNC's 11 minutes, 15 seconds. The biggest play of that half had to be Justin Wally's interception. Like I said, and like I'll say it again, Justin Wally continues to show up for this team when they need him the most. They needed a jolt on offense as well as on defense with UNC marching deep into Golden Gopher territory. And he efficiently flips the field, gets the Gophers on the board, gets the offense some momentum, and gets them in the end zone. However, the Golden Gophers have plenty of areas to improve upon, I would say.
Indeed, missed opportunities were the story of the first quarter. Of course, that missed field goal, as well as that forced fumble that got called back because of a defensive holding way down the field, have really just been the story. Because while the score is in Minnesota's favor, it could be better. However, they are turning it around on both offense and defense. Defense coming in with some humongous plays towards the end of that half, preventing North Carolina from even sniffing yards in the end of that first half.
And they're making Johnson uncomfortable. It's not just that Johnson's been missing throws. It's that their guys on the edge, Danny Strigo, Jaw Joyner, Devin Eastern, have been getting pressure on him and making him get the ball out quickly. This UNC team was an air raid and an air attack offense last year against the Golden Gophers, but the Gophers have changed the game plan thus far. Early on, they were giving up chunk plays. That one drive, they gave up back-to-back 10-yard gains to Omarion Hampton. They've been able to at least limit his effectiveness or show UNC that they're able to stop him for short yardage gains and force them to throw the football. UNC is trying to do the same with Marcus Major. The two guys are averaging 4.9 and 5 yards per carry, so pretty even game plan thus far for the two. Just the big difference, the interception for Max Johnson rather than Max Brosmer, turnover free thus far. In the second half, UNC will start with the ball, so they get a chance to answer the Golden Gophers' late touchdown. Max Brosmer, 1 yard keeper.
And for me, the difference thus far, and 2 defensive players that I've been surprised by, Ethan Robinson playing very, very good coverage out on the outside, reading J.J. Jones's routes, swatting a couple away, making some good plays, as well as Deontay McMillan, who ended up getting injured there in the second quarter, but putting the pressure and just blowing up Max Johnson a couple of times, just really getting in there on the pressure and just making his presence known.
That's what some people love so much about college football. There's always new faces, always guys that not many people have ever heard of, who have to step up on a night-to-night, day-to-day basis, week-to-week. And those are the guys that sometimes can turn a game, turn a contest, turn a season on its head. You look at Darius Taylor last year. You look at Marcus Major right now. The Golden Gophers look like they have their running back room just about set, like they have most of the seasons when PJ Fleck's been behind the helm.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful to see that Gophers really have 3 running backs that are very, very capable of playing some Big Ten football. Jordan Newman, of course, last year having a couple of very big games, notably against Michigan State. And Major, of course, coming in here already having some experience and just really showing why he is the #1 option tonight.
And I think what I've seen from Major tonight is he hasn't broken away that big run yet. He has 1 for 19. That's his longest. But Darius Taylor and him are quite similar in the way that they play. I'd say, like I mentioned earlier, Major does come out of the backfield and does have the ability to catch the ball every so often. But he also runs extremely similarly to Darius Taylor. That may just be a scheme thing and an eye test type of thing, but downhill, shorter, both of them are shorter guys. Darius Taylor actually stands at 6 foot, but he's very condensed and runs tight with the football. Marcus Major also 6 foot, 220, so the two guys are basically same size, same height, same weight, which is actually pretty big for a modern running back. Typically they're a little shorter even.
Yeah, but those defensive players are able to catch them down after just a shorter gains of like 20. And that's been the thing that has, I think, just kept them back. But they are both very, very good at jumping, very good at cutting, very good at getting through the gap, which has been just crucial. So once they get to that next level, get through the secondary and get through the people that are coming to chase them down, I think they're going to be game changers.
Lamarian Hampton also stands at 6 foot, 220. So that's all of the big running backs that play in this game. Just about the same size. And I'm assuming from UNC coming out of the halftime break, they're going to keep trying to pound the rock. That's really been the only thing that's working for them. I could see Johnson trying to open up the field a little bit by taking a shot downfield early to get the Golden Gophers out of the box, give Hampton some more space to work with. But otherwise, I see this game going pretty similarly to how the first half went in terms of running and throwing splits.
As I told Jack in the first half during a commercial break, North Carolina is really looking like an honorary member of the Big Ten West today. Really just pounding the football, can't get anything done out of the air. It's like I'm watching Minnesota versus Illinois, but it's North Carolina on the other side. You
can kill the idea of the Big Ten West, but you cannot kill the style of play. As long as there's people in the Big Ten still, it's going to be a ground and pounder. Kesich with a short kick. UNC has a chance to return. Up the right side goes the return man, and he's tackled there at the 18. Great play by number 48. That's Mason Carrier. 15-yard return, so they'll give them slightly worse field position than if he would have let that one bounce.
Definitely a different kick from Kesich. Normally you see him booted out of the back of the end zone, but that one just hung there.
Second half underway. 14-7 Golden Gophers. Johnson, high snap, hands it off. Hampton cuts back. Lindenberg's got him around the foot. He's going to gain 5 anyhow. Looks like one of the Golden Gophers who was blitzing off the edge thought Johnson might take it and keep it. If he did, he was going to get blown up. Instead of Hampton with a gain of 5.
Yeah, good decision there by Johnson by actually handing that off. And very good tackle there by Lindenberg. Very good for him to hold on.
2 receivers out to the short side of the field near UNC's sideline. They're going towards the open end of the stadium. Hampton again outside, wrapped up. That's Danny Strigo, just a gain of a half a yard. Now 3rd and 4.
Yeah, ever since the beginning of the game where there was a miscommunication that caused the Gophers to call a timeout, when Strigo could not get off the field, he has been playing like an absolute beast.
UNC bringing 4 receivers onto the field in an effort to spread the field for Johnson. Comes up to the line, makes some adjustments. Tight end and Hampton are in on the discussion. 3rd and 5. Pointing out men on the defense, just one high safety and 6 Gophers on the line. They're going to have to get to Johnson fast. He's going to want to get rid of it fast. Low snap, drops back, has time, fires to the sideline, and makes the catch. Wow, what a play there on the sideline. Long throw for Johnson and a better play there by Bryson Nesbitt.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play there. Wally with great coverage, very good tight coverage, but heck of a grab there by Nesbitt.
Gophers make a late substitution. Referees hold UNC so they can't get it too many men on the field. Snap, Johnson, handoff, Hampton up the middle, and he's stuffed again, gain of 3.
Good tackle there by Lindenberg. He's really starting to get into the rhythm of things here.
Marinowski on the tackle there, but nonetheless a good play. That's a long throw for Johnson. That covered maybe 10 yards forwards on the grass and maybe 25 yards laterally.
All the way across the field from the left hash.
Johnson, another handoff. Hampton delays and goes up the middle. That'll be 3rd and about a yard and a half. They're just giving Minnesota a taste of their own medicine. Giving it to Hampton, maybe an occasional throw, but keeping the Golden Gopher defense on its heels is going to be UNC's goal here. Feeding Omari and Hampton is also going to be a priority. Give it to him again. Hit at the line of scrimmage, and Lindenberg missed the tackle.
That's 4 missed tackles today by Lindenberg, but man, is he getting jumps on those runners.
If he can make that play in the backfield, Omari and Hampton does not have a chance to pick up the first down, but he is able to this time. And Hampton's a workhorse. I have not seen him come off the field.
I don't think he's been, as he comes off the field.
As he comes off the field. Excellent timing, Jack.
But no, he's just been grinding this game out. Like I said in the first half, it's just the yards after the first contact, he just does not stop fighting for those yards.
Backup running back Darwin Barlow sees his first time. Johnson passing. Barlow on the screen. Swings it out towards the Gopher sideline. Forced out of bounds after a gain of about 5. Right to the 50. UNC just these small little plays, chipping away at that Golden Gopher defense, keeping them out on the field.
Finding that open side of the field has been what North Carolina has been exposing here thus far on offense.
Hampton's going to stay on the bench for now. Barlow still in the backfield. 3 receivers, 2 Johnson's right, 1 on the left. Shotgun. Looks left, looks right, throws right, wide open catch. Right at the 45, and that's an easy first down reception there for Nesbitt again.
Yes, very loose coverage there by number 7, Aiden Gowsby. And the Tar Heels convert and get a first down.
They're going hurry up now. Run first of the game for Barlow. Might have gotten 1.5, 2 yards on first down there. Trying to go hurry up. Hampton will come back on the field now. He's fresh. This hurry-up offense is going to start to give the Golden Gophers problems if they can't stop UNC soon enough. Already 10 minutes and 30 seconds in the third quarter and counting. Almost 5 minutes on the drive eaten up, and UNC hasn't even gotten to the red zone yet. Snap, play action. Screen to the other side. Offensive linemen were all blocking. Really good design play there on the fake handoff and throw to the other side. That will be 3rd and 1 for UNC, spotted just short on the Golden Gopher 36. Late substitutions, Jalen Logan Redding quick onto the field. Ball's almost certainly going to Hampton. He gets it up the middle, and he's got the first down. And a little more on the end, down to the 31. Boy, there's been almost no break here. UNC just foot on the gas.
Hey, the second I say they're an honorary Big Ten team, they're sure acting like it.
1st and 10, fresh set of downs from the Golden Gopher 31. Johnson takes it, end around. And the wide receiver gets some room. Ankle tackle made by Justin Wally, but another gain of 9. Nate McCollum on the end around. UNC opening up the playbook, getting a little fancy. They're hitting their stride right now. It seems like there's almost nothing the Golden Gopher defense can do to stop them from getting the end zone.
And surprisingly, the first time we've heard McCollum's name called today.
Now a throw back to a wide receiver. He'll get the first down to the 15. That's number 7, Christian Hamilton. Lindenberg slow to get up. He's on the 25-yard line. Down to a knee. Can't really tell what he's done. Looks like it's his leg, and gosh, the Golden Gophers need that. UNC's almost eaten up half of the third quarter here. Clock's down to 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Just a slow, methodical drive that just drains the defense.
Yeah, it's been no break for the defense. They've just been out there grinding away. Started the drive back towards the 20. Just have not let it up at all. The running attack has been pretty constant. A couple screen passes here and there. Just been decimating the defense.
We'll go to a commercial break. UNC marching and now inside the red zone down to the 15. The Minnesota, the farthest they've made it thus far tonight from Minneapolis. Welcome back to Minneapolis here. UNC marching the ball down the field with efficiency. Johnson. And he'll keep it, and he's stuffed there. Great play by the Golden Gopher defense, not fooled by UNC. And that'll be a loss of 1.
Yeah, it's the first play that the Gophers have really just gone up and pushed them back. Made some negative yardage.
This is the first time UNC's really had a second and long. See if they go with anything different. I'm assuming Hampton's getting the ball. Toss to him. Up the left side. Nothing going, and he's forced backwards yet again. Golden Gopher defense was ready this time. That's Ethan Robinson with another big play. Loss of 3 on the toss. 3rd and 14.
Man, oh man, has Robinson been good today. He is everywhere all over this field.
3rd and 14 from the 19. Johnson may have to use his arm. This would be a shorter field goal, but UNC wants to tie it up. Johnson dropping back, looking left, rolls out and fires, and Hampton breaks a tackle and he's forced out of bounds. Short of the first down, that's marked at the 12. First down would have been the 5, so that'll be 4th and 7, and UNC's kicking team will come on. Shout out to both of our Tim and I's friend, He's raising up the All-State Good Hands flag there on the far end zone. Looks like they have re-allowed the scary Gopher back onto the television screen that the kicker looks at. That was actually deemed illegal last year and was then call was reversed. Kick is up and right down the center. Gopher unable to dissuade UNC's kicker Noah Burnett as he cuts it to a 4-point game, 10-7, Golden Gophers. But what a drive by UNC. 17 plays, 70 yards, 8 minutes, 21 seconds. That's just textbook eating the clock.
But a heck of a stop there at the end of the drive, forcing the Tar Heels to get a field goal instead of punching that into the end zone. Let's see what the offense can do now that most of the third quarter is gone, just like that.
6.5 minutes remaining in the third. We'll head to another commercial break here on Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Minneapolis from Radio K Sports broadcast booth. Tim and Jack. UNC will kick the ball away back to the Golden Gophers, who look to answer a long opening drive that ended with a UNC field goal after a couple big stops. When Cody Lindenberg went down with an injury, Golden Gopher defense got a break, able to get their feet under them. And that kick sails into the end zone. Minnesota could really use one of those methodical drives, the exact same thing that UNC did, where you're just wearing down on the defense, maybe even getting a little hurry-up offense in there. Didn't happen a whole lot last year with Athan at the helm. Would often look to the sideline to confirm plays and often struggled when in a 2-minute drill to improvise on the fly, to get instructions out quickly, and to get the Golden Gophers down the field effectively.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a drive just like the one they had at the end of the second quarter.
Brosmer under center. We haven't heard from him in what seems like forever. A little naked bootleg rollout, fires downfield, and it's dropped by Daniel Jackson. Great play to get a hand in there UNC's number 25, I think that was, or maybe 26, Khalil Conley.
Yeah, it looked like Jackson had that. It was just a little lower on him. Right by his waist, just couldn't hang on to it.
Not a bad throw by Brosmer, just better play by Conley to get his hand in there, avoiding pass interference. UNC has passed up Minnesota in the time of possession now at 1941. Brosmer shotgun. Major to his left, gives it to him, tries to bounce out and gets around a couple defenders, but tripped up by his shoestrings. Now Golden Gophers face a 3rd and long.
Yeah, not exactly the start of the drive you wanted, but here's another opportunity for Brosmer to show off the arm, doing what he likes to do, which is pass the football.
3rd and 9 from their own 26-yard line. Golden Gophers have been better as of late, but still not great. 2 for 7 on 3rd down. They did convert their only 4th down try. 2 receivers to Brosmer's left. No high safeties. One man that's about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Brosmer, snap, drops back, fires towards the sidelines, and out of play. That was intended for Christian Driver. The play was there. Driver was open, and Brosmer just sailed it. Quick 3 and out.
Yeah, just put it right past him, just a little too close to the sideline. I think he may have been expecting him to come a little further back, but they can't connect.
Good anticipation on the throw. Threw it before Driver was even out of his break. But threw it a shade too high. That's Ben Brosmer's miss today. He's been overthrowing the receivers. Sometimes a good strategy when your team's not playing high safeties, but when they are, that may end up as an interception. Crawford's 3rd punt of the day. Fair catch called for, and it's over the receiver's head. Takes a Minnesota bounce, rolls past the 20, and down to the 17. 57-yard punt.
Holy moly.
Punters are people too. Shout out Pat McAfee. Shout out Punter Nation everywhere.
I will not shout out Iowa, because they don't deserve it.
That may be correct. 5 minutes, 25 seconds. UNC will get another opportunity. Down 4. It's 14-10 Golden Gophers. UNC back in operation from their own 17. Golden Gopher defense was on its heels until a timeout gave them some energy back, but they've been on the field for a long time in the third quarter, which has historically not been a great quarter. Hampton up the middle. He gains 6 on the first down carry, maybe 5, stopped at the 21. Looks like there was maybe a hold on the edge. I saw Anthony Smith's shoulder pads go way high up in the air. He's now got his jersey hiked up around his midsection.
Yeah, I just guess the refs are letting them play today. That's some good Big Ten football, I suppose.
2-2 receiver set. Johnson motions Hampton out, has the screen option, goes to him. On the outside, tackle made there. Strong play by Coleman Bryson. It'll be a 3rd and 3. UNC's just getting 2 to 3 to 4 yards per play. When you do that, mathematically, you're going to end up with a first down pretty often.
Heck of a play by Bryson there to save the first down and force the Tar Heels into a 3rd down situation.
Johnson, shotgun. Gophers put 4 on the line, 2 linebackers and 2 high safeties. Wide receiver in motion across the formation. To Hampton up the middle, he's got it easily. Bounces off a tackle and is finished off there by Coleman Bryson, but moves the chains yet again.
North Carolina's offensive line is just staying strong, just opening up those gaps, and boy, oh boy, is Hampton just pushing through those gaps.
Another tight formation. They put a tight end almost in the backfield. Now a throw to the outside. Almost jumped the route, did Justin Wally. Throw was outside, intended for number 8, Kobe Paysour. Boy, Justin Wally might have had a walk-in pick 6 if he was able to get there a hair earlier.
Just too high for him. He totally had the sights on it, though.
2nd and 10 from the 33. 2 receivers either side of the formation. Johnson motions Hampton out yet again. Looking for the screen, now rolling left, firing to Hampton in the open, but he is shut down for a short gain. Maybe just got back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he did not gain any yards on that play. 3rd and long. Golden Gopher defense could really use a stop here.
Yeah, heck of a job to get this done right early in the drive. There's been a lot of stoppages of play, a lot of missed passes. That's just been slowing their offense down and not allowing them to get the pace. That's really been just putting the defense of Minnesota on the rails.
Crowd getting on their feet and getting loud. 3rd and 10 from the 33. Johnson claps once, claps again. Here comes the Golden Gopher blitz. Wally up the middle. The UNC protects it. Hit as he throws, and it's too low. Justin Wally got through the Hampton block and was able to get to Johnson, who is, oh no, he's slow to get up on the field. And the trainers are going to come running over, something you hate to see, and he has not moved from where Wally hit him.
Looks like Wally's wimping a little bit too there. That was a heck of a hit to the midsection. May have knocked the wind out of him.
And there's a flag on the play that we both completely missed.
Holding.
That'll go against number 4, Zaquan Bryan. But the bigger concern right now is for Max Johnson. He still has not moved down on the ground. Looks like they're taking off his helmet or trying to adjust his helmet. Trainers currently tending to him.
Looks like a concussion type problem. Not what you want to see.
Didn't see him go down. Did get hit by Wally pretty hard as he threw. Nothing illegal, but went down hard. And the trainers continuing to try and sort things out.
Got him towards the waist, almost folded him like a folding chair.
So as Johnson lays right on the 20-yard line, we'll take a break here on Radio K Sports and give you an update on his condition when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Radio K Sports. Max Johnson has been placed on the cart and is currently being carted off the field. What we could diagnose from up here may be a right leg injury. He was picked up and was on the athletic trainer's shoulders, but could put no weight on either one of his legs. His left leg was propped up underneath something on the cart, but he could not make his way back to the sideline. We'll get back started action here again after the penalty brings them to a first down. Handoff to Hampton up the middle. Gets a couple, fights for more, and is wrapped up there. New quarterback into the game, Connor Harrell, 6'2" sophomore out of Alabaster, Alabama. So that nice little ring to it there. So he'll see time, and we'll get an update later on, I'm sure maybe tomorrow, about the nature of Max Johnson's injury, but he did not move for about a minute and a half as he was on the ground. Harrell, play action and hands it off. Hampton breaks a tackle, gets across the 50 to the 48, needed to get to the 47, and UNC will have a 3rd and 1. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left in the third quarter.
It was a good effort there by Howard Sampson, offensive lineman, for pushing Hampton forward.
Almost certainly with the new quarterback in, the goal is going to be to give the ball to Hampton, and they've been able to do that thus far. Give it to him again, bounce outside. Big gaping hole there up the middle, and he's table-topped by 2 Golden Gophers, but not before he picks up 15 and a fresh set of downs to the 36.
Heck of a hit there by Kerry Brown on the back end of it, but not very good on the defensive line.
Again, quick, Omarion Hampton with a couple jukes to shake free, gets 2. That's his 24th carry of the game, over the century mark with that last carry. That one went, the last carry went for 13, that one for just 2. He's a workhorse, and he will put his head down and do what's necessary when the team calls upon him, and they're going to need him. Now he gets a break, quarterback draw up the middle. He's stuffed, stumbles out of it, and takes a sack. Justin Wally was flying right at him and just slid down. Gain of nothing, and a 3rd and 8 from the 35.
Yeah, that was a heck of a scramble there. He just looked really hectic, really uncomfortable. Kind of reminded me of Jeff Sims last year in the first game of the year.
This would be a 52-yarder for UNC from here to make it a 1-point game if they don't get past the sticks. Couple jumps there from the Golden Gophers. Now thrown to sideline. Wide receiver slips and he bobbled it, dropped it. Targeted to Paul Billups II, redshirt freshman out of Chesapeake, Virginia. And UNC is going to bring out the field goal unit, I believe. We'll have to see what specifically they're doing. They're actually going to bring out the field goal unit. This will be from the 34. Add 10 is the 44. Add another 7 onto that. It's a 51-yarder. This is no gimme for Noah Burnett. At the Gopher in the far end of the end zone. Gophers ready to try and block it. Kick is up. And it's good. What a kick. Noah Burnett from 52 yards out has easily enough leg to carry it, and UNC cuts it to 1. Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, he was kicking those bombs in warm-ups, but he had never gone back outside the 35, so definitely a surprise by us, but seemed pretty routine for him.
12-play, 49-yard drive that lasted 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Ends in UNC's second field goal of the quarter. It's 14-13. Already more points combined than we had in last year's contest against Nebraska.
The real story of this third quarter has been that the Gophers have had the ball for about a minute, and the Tar Heels have had it the entire rest of the quarter. There's only 19 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Gophers have run 3 offensive plays.
Something that we hit on pregame. The Golden Gophers historically have not come out of the locker room very well. In the last couple years, the third quarter has been their lowest scoring quarter by a good bit, and they also lose a lot of points in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter consistently in years past. And they've given up 6 unanswered to cut it to 1. Kick is away, is a short one. Redding will take it at the 10. Gets a chance to go up the middle. Good blocking, and he's hit from behind. Gets to the 25. UNC players fired up. That's probably Malcolm Ziegler, freshman. Defensive back. Now just 15 seconds left. If you look at the stats for this game, you scratch your head and wonder, how are the Golden Gophers still winning this? They have 117 yards of total offense to UNC's 202. They're just 2 for 8 on third down and have had to punt 4 times already.
And in reality, the difference between those yards is the 70-yard interception return by Justin Wally.
It is, and their defense has stood up when they needed to, forced a short UNC field goal. You really could have used that Dragon Kesich make. Major going up the right side and nothing there. UNC was ready for that. That'll end the third quarter as Minnesota stares down a 2nd and long, now with just the narrowest of margins, a 1-point lead heading into the fourth. We'll be back after another radio break for fourth quarter action. Good contest here from Minneapolis, and you're listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Radio K Sports. 2nd and 10 at the start of the 4th quarter. Max Brosmer 6 for 12, 53 yards, and a rushing touchdown.
Got him.
And flags on the field. Offensive lines say false start. Offensive lines say they encroach. Defensive lines pointing at the offensive lines. Pointing match will conclude. Head referee with the white hat will come out to the center of the field. And it's false start on the Golden Gophers. This is a team that has not taken a lot of penalties. They averaged 3 last year. They've already gotten 6 this game. It's on Tyler Williams, backup wide receiver. It's not something you want to see in such a tightly contested game, especially by a wide receiver.
Especially when you're backed up in your own territory and you haven't been able to get anything going this half.
2nd and 15 from the 20. Brosmer with 2 men flanking him on either side. Now wide receiver splits out. He'll drop back, fire to the sideline. That's caught and forced out of bounds. Nice gain there for Daniel Jackson. Looks like a little bit of mist is starting to fall yet again. It's actually on Greg Johnson, number 65. How did I hear 7?
I heard 7.
So Greg Johnson, the offensive lineman from Prior Lake, Minnesota, guilty of the false start, but Daniel Jackson with his 3rd catch of the day, or 2nd catch for the day. Now he's up to 27 yards. Big 3rd down and 8. UNC with 1 high safety, 3 receivers on Brosmer's right. UNC brings 5. Dropping back to pass, evades some pressure and goes down. Slipped in the backfield yet again. Was brought down by UNC's number 7, Kamen Rucker.
And once again, that mist becoming a factor back there. We saw the slipping and sliding in the beginning of the game, and players are just starting to slip and slide again, although the pressure was about to get to him anyways.
It was. He may have had an opportunity had he been able to escape, but wouldn't have had much. Crawford, another punt. Gophers still just 2 for 9 on 3rd down. With 5 penalties for 40 yards and 120 total yards. They've let UNC back into the game. Crawford, shorter punt, and it's going to be fielded by UNC's receiving man at the 43. And we'll see what UNC can cook up on the next drive. Another media timeout coming up here, 13:23 as the Golden Gophers yet again go 3 and out and are in danger of losing their lead on Radio K Sports. Welcome back to Minneapolis. UNC with its second drive, the first official drive with Connor Harrell full-time in the backfield. Hampton's got 24 carries for 109 yards. Screen pass out to the side. Gausby slipped on the tackle attempt. Completely missed J.J. Jones. Or excuse me, that's really difficult to see. That's Nate McCollum instead. That 6 really looks like a 5 when the back of his jersey's tucked up. Hurry up again, 2nd and 7. Sorry to cut you off, Tim. Hampton up the middle. Bounces off Baranowski, and Gausby is able to wrap him up. Gain of 2. Quick 3rd down here for the Golden Gopher defense.
I'd say surprisingly, we haven't seen very much of McCollum at all. Last time we played North Carolina, he had 165 receiving yards, but we just have not seen him today.
3rd and 6 from their own 46. Rain starting to fall in earnest now. Harrell dropping back, looking right, fires right down the field, and it's broken up. I'm not sure if the Golden Gophers' Zaquan Bryan got there first, or maybe it bounced off the hands of J.J. Jones, but even if he didn't, that's a heck of a diving play by Zaquan Bryan.
Yeah, really putting his body on the line there, just no regard for anything other than the play. Heck of an effort.
He did not get there in time. That was right in the breadbasket for J.J. Jones, and he is fed up with himself. UNC goes 3 and out and will give it right back to Minnesota. Their 3rd 3 and out of the game. Minnesota has 5 of them. It's really going to be a clock control game now with the rain starting to fall. We'll check on the radar and give you an update. Ball will bounce and be kept in. What a play by UNC special teams. They downed it at the 2. That was return man number 28, Chris Flowers. Great play, and now Minnesota deep in their own territory. Immediate timeout with 12:09 remaining in the 4th quarter. Gophers up 1, but they've got to go 98 yards or so to tack on to that here from Minneapolis. Welcome back to Minneapolis, where the Golden Gophers stand on their own 2-yard line. UNC has 6 in the box. Callerup in motion across the formation. Brosmer standing partially on the O. He'll drop back to pass. Dangerous spot here. Now underneath to Major. He gets free and breaks the tackle, and he'll get the first down. Great play by Marcus Major out of the backfield. That'll move the chains and get the Golden Gophers out of safety danger.
And that's the third time that Majors has been able to spin around to the outside and just get those extra yards. Heck of a play there by Major.
Golden Gophers now giving UNC a bit of a taste of their own medicine. They're going hurry up. Brosmer drops back, steps up in the pocket, and he'll run. Major blocks for him, and he'll dive ahead across the 20. The ball came out. Referees have no signal yet. UNC waving for it. However, the referees believe have confidently spotted him down. UNC's offense not making any moves, and Brosmer did get down before he lost the football. The ruling is that the runner was down.
Sigh of relief for the Gophers there.
Oof.
And for
Agreed.
me.
And UNC is going to take a timeout to look at it, I believe.
Yeah, Brosmer just decided to dive instead of slide.
The previous play is under review. Called in from the radio booth. No timeout needed from UNC. We will not get a replay on the big board. See if we can get one on the TV we have here in the broadcast booth, but I am unsure of if we can. Now we're getting a view at it. Looks like the ball may have been out. Oh, that would be terrible. Brosmer was unhappy. That's not a good sign. We're getting a slow motion view here on the big board. Makes a cut to the left. Hits a man down low, and that ball is out.
Oh, boy.
And UNC forces a huge turnover. Max Brosmer with a costly mistake, and UNC set up on the 20-yard line. That's the rain coming into effect yet again.
Just couldn't hang on to it. I mean, I know Brosmer's not much of a runner.
You could tell from his reaction instantly that he knew that ball was out.
Yeah.
He slammed his fist on the ground as if to say, that's on me. That's a fumble. Now the defense has a chance to pick him up, but even so, they're going to have to force a turnover to avoid giving UNC a chance at taking the lead. From the shotgun, Hampton up the middle, nothing going. 2 yards on the carry on first down. UNC might be satisfied just to run the football 3 times. Dare the Golden Gophers to stop it, not give the defense any chance to make an interception, jumper route on Harrell. Kick a field goal. That would give them a 16-14 lead. Boy, the Golden Gophers missing those 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know that it was going to be super crucial back in the first quarter, but
Hampton up the outside. He's going to lose yardage on the play. Wally hit him in the backfield. Strigo forced him back there as well. Finished off by Lindenberg. He loses 2. 3rd and 10. If you're UNC, what do you do here?
I mean, you have to stick with what's working. You have to stick to the run. You don't want to take too many risks, especially when you're down by 1 in this scenario. Plenty of time on the clock. Even if you don't get it, you've still got a field goal. And you should be very comfortable in this range, especially with your field goal kicker who just kicked a 53-yarder.
3rd and 10 from the Minnesota 22. 4 receivers split out wide, 1 high safety. Linebackers drop back. It's a quarterback draw up the middle. He runs into his own offensive lineman. The ball's out. Ball's on the ground. Scramble for it. Nobody knows who's got it. Logan Richter says that the Golden Gophers do. Referees will try and dissect the pile. Boy, would this be a turn of events in the other direction. Referees waiting. Golden Gopher fans pointing towards the opposite end zone. And looks like UNC does recover. Boy, was that was that close.
They had that on the ground. They had an opportunity to go and get it. I guess didn't have the angle on it. Once again, the mist coming into a factor, even though it has stopped.
Kicking towards the student section. Noah Burnett, he's put up 6 points for the Tar Heels, has outscored the Golden Gophers entirely in this half. Kick is up and through. UNC with yet another field goal. They tack on the short field, luckily not 7, but with 3 field goals from Noah Burnett, they take the lead back for the first time since the first score of the game on a 42-yarder, 16-14.
What a missed opportunity there by the Gophers. It's just going to come back to bite them. I think that's been the story of this game so far, is just missed opportunities. First quarter, the missed field goal and the missed fumble with that holding penalty. And then now with that loose fumble, just crucial penalties along the line on huge defensive plays.
9 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Minnesota still with all 3 timeouts, but now they've got to put points on the board to get back into it. From Radio K. Welcome back to Radio K Sports. Gophers find themselves in a 2-point hole. 16-14 in favor of the visitors. They went backwards 2 yards on that drive, but the Max Brosmer costly fumble gave them excellent field position, and Burnett, who's been the MVP of the game so far for the Tar Heels, puts another one through the uprights. It's always a question of call and response.
Indeed it is. So far in the first half, the Gophers were able to respond either defensively or at the end of the half offensively. But in the second half, they've just had no answers for either the North Carolina offense, although they have been able to hold them to field goals, but especially their own offense. They just haven't been able to get anything going yet.
Yeah, UNC's drives in the second half, 17 plays, 70 yards, 12 plays, 49 yards, and then the last 2 not going much of anywhere. But Minnesota's have gained just 19 yards total. Brosmer shotgun. Major faked handoff. Brosmer looking deep, has time, rolls out to his right, trying to escape the pressure, and he goes down.
Ooh.
You need to throw that ball out of bounds. Max Brosmer needs to throw that ball out of bounds. He lost 5 yards on the play, and he's rolling out, running away from the pressure, has a receiver in the general direction, but he had tucked and ran, thinking he could get around, but again for UNC, it's Javari Ritzy. That might be his 3rd sack of the game.
Not ideal for Brosmer there, no. It's
He had
almost
time.
a question of nerves rather than skill.
Afraid to pull the trigger and certainly does not want to cause another turnover after he lost the ball and gave UNC an easy field goal drive. Another pass outside. Daniel Jackson, tough catch in traffic. Did he stay in bounds there? Daniel Jackson, what a play. Caught the ball in traffic, was able to work away from the man who was draped all over him, keep his right foot in bounds, and get a first down.
Heck of a job. 2 receivers on top of him coming in for the tackle, and he somehow just gets away from them. Beautiful job by Daniel Jackson.
Magician's act there.
Hopefully that can be the spark that can get this offense going.
And referees will call for a reset on the play clock on a defensive player's helmet coming off.
Shouldn't he have to come out of the game?
I thought he should, but maybe it came off after the play was over. I'm not really sure. I would have thought he needed to come out of the play. Nonetheless, Daniel Jackson got it to the 40, so a 20-yard gain on that scamper. And nothing going for Major on first down. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, and looks like an offensive lineman was wrestled down by a UNC player. He's not happy with it. No flag coming from the referees. That was Anatavius Lane fighting against
Tyler Cooper.
Tyler Cooper. It's not a guy that
You want to get in
like
a fight with.
like to pick a fight with. Lane's a defensive back, standing at just 5'8", 195. Cooper's an offensive lineman.
A very big offensive lineman at that.
Brosmer under center. Bunch set for the Gophers again. Wide receiver in motion. End around. Good. No, actually was a end around. I didn't even know where the ball was. That went to Christian Driver. He got about 5. Gosh, I was totally lost in that play.
It's a heck of a play design there, but didn't quite do what they wanted. However, 3rd and short, not the worst opportunity ever.
It's at the 45-yard line. Clock now almost under 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Minnesota still with all 3 timeouts, but you wonder if they get within a yard or two, it's right at midfield. Do you go for it? Major has been bottled up as of late, 18 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. Brosmer back to pass and hit in the backfield, evades the pressure. Running for the first down across the 50, dives forward, and he makes the play.
Heck of a play by Brosmer to get out of that. North Carolina had him sacked, but he gets out.
Dead to rights in the backfield. Plants his right foot in the ground, gets around would-be rusher number 17, Amare Campbell, off the edge, dives across the 50-yard line for a fresh set of downs.
And he held onto the ball this time.
He did hang on to the ball. Didn't slip on that cut either. If he slipped, he was as good as sacked. Shotgun. Bunch set yet again. 5.5 to go. Brosmer looks to pass underneath. Lemecki Brockington breaks one loose and the ball's out. Picked up. What a play by Marcus Major. Unbelievably fortunate bounce. Lemecki Brockington lost the ball. Marcus Major was following him on the route, picked it up in stride and picked up an additional 20 yards.
Almost an accidental hook and ladder. Holy moly.
Boy, what a play by Marcus Major, and what a fortunate bounce. That football will bounce many ways, and it just happened to go right into number 24's arms.
Right in stride, too.
I have not seen a play like that in a while. Gophers 1st and 10 now, all the way down to the 10. Brosmer, shotgun, looks back to pass, fires towards the corner, almost caught there. Elijah Spencer was falling over. Coverage by UNC's Caleb Cost. That'll stop the clock at 4:39. Boy, that would have been an incredible catch.
Oh my goodness, he was like laying on his back, but I like the play call from PJ Fleck, going after it on first down. That's what I've been begging for this whole game, but they just haven't been able to get it going. After a nice pass play, even with that shaky fumble thingy, just trusting the pass, trusting Brosmer, just giving him the confidence in this drive that he can do it.
From the 10, I anticipate 2 runs here to chew some more clock, get another field goal, and go up by 1. Brosmer makes a man go in motion, and he is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Whoa!
That looked like a late extra wrestle around there by Kamen Rucker.
He gave him an
Crowd
extra
not
2
happy.
spins there.
Referees say that nothing happened. Student section unhappy.
Indeed they are.
That was a little
little
too far
excessive
after the whistle for me.
Yeah, an extra spin after the whistle.
If Major sells that and it throws and falls down on the play, I think that's a penalty.
Wrong football.
Wrong football. I agree with you. So a 3rd and goal from the 12. Brosmer takes the snap. Newbin out to his left. He'll throw it to him and miss the pass. Just too far outside of Newbin's reach. He was going to be swallowed up. That's just not the play call.
That's just not it.
And that
5 defenders on that side of the field, only 2 Gophers.
easy read too. UNC had 2 guys, 3 guys even there. But at that point, you got to at least give a shot at the end zone, if not run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to just like be satisfied with barely getting any yards, just run it up the middle. Just a little less risky on that one.
Kesich for the field goal. Ball will be placed on the 20-yard line. He's already missed 1 going this way, and the Golden Gophers need this one more than ever. Up and through. Dragan Kesich redeems his earlier miss, and the Golden Gophers go back up by a point. This one is far from over.
It's going to depend on the defense. Can the defense make one more stop?
Three minutes, 40 seconds. UNC has 3 timeouts, so time is not a factor whatsoever. I am curious to see how Harrell can lead the offense, because he's only thrown the ball 3 times, completed 1 of them for just 2 yards.
And on his last play was one he also fumbled. We saw Brosmer come back from it, get a couple good completions, lead a nice drive down the field. Let's see if the Gopher defense can capitalize on him being nervous and him being just shaken up.
Omarion Hampton's going to be a factor on this drive. He's had 27 carries for 111 yards, no touchdowns. And Marcus Major with 19 for just 73. UNC has had a clear game plan to bottle him up, and he was rolling in the first half, but they've done a very solid job here in the second. 10 plays, 63 yards, 5 minutes, 25 seconds on the 30-yard field goal drive for the Golden Gophers.
But man, how important is that bounce on that fumble? Major just being in the right place at the right time there.
Sometimes you just got to live with the bounce. Sometimes it bounces your way. Sometimes it's not going to bounce your way.
And sometimes it saves your drive.
Sometimes it does save your drive. Who knows? If that ball bounces back to UNC, the Gophers are in a much worse position right now. Or if it even bounces out of bounds, they don't get nearly as many yards. Now UNC. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Harrell gives the handoff, delayed to Hampton, and he breaks it free up the edge. Easy first down. That was a very slow developing play.
Almost looked like he wasn't sure if he wanted to hand it off or not.
It's a great first down play and a fresh start for the offense. Clock will continue to run. UNC, Noah Burnett has shown that he has a leg. 52-yard field goal was good by some distance. So their target line going to be about Minnesota's 35. Another handoff. No, faked handoff. He'll throw up the sideline. Who's wide open. Down the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds there by Aiden Gowsby. What a play. Nate McCollum. That's a name the Gopher fans know all too well, and he comes at a huge spot.
There's only one man on the entire right side, or right hash to sideline, and he went up for the quarterback.
That was J.J. Jones, my mistake, and now UNC easily in field goal range. I sense a lot of Omari and Hampton coming here as they try and chew as much clock as they can.
And at what point does PJ Fleck start calling the timeouts?
Hampton, handoff. Lindenberg stuffs him and falls forward for 2.5.
Gophers decide not to try and stop the clock here before the 2-minute warning. Interesting decision by PJ Fleck.
Take a timeout. You should take a timeout right now.
He decides not to.
They will get the 2-minute warning. If UNC gets another first down, this game is as good as over. If the field goal is converted, Gophers are going to have 0 time left on the clock. And you just scratch your head.
Sometimes.
2-minute warning here from Minneapolis. UNC threatening to take the lead yet again. They're on the 30-yard line, or excuse me, the 26 with 2nd and 6 when we return. Welcome back, Radio K sports fans. It's do or die time for the Golden Gopher defense. Hampton up the middle, stuffed at the 25. 2-yard gain.
PJ Fleck finally taking his first timeout here.
And at 56 remaining. Ball spotted at the 25. They need to get to the 20. Honestly, if I'm UNC, you've got a hot kicker. I run to wherever he run to wherever he likes kicking it and kneel it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be the left hash. That's where they were for that 50-yarder.
So the ball spotted on the 25. Be a 42-yarder, which he's already hit one of those. Has not hit a field goal, or actually did hit a field goal going towards the student section.
Yep.
Just one?
Two.
Two. That's right, in the third quarter.
But man, how crucial is that missed field goal in the first quarter?
Well, no, he hasn't hit a field goal because he hit one earlier in the fourth, going towards the student section.
Oh yeah, sorry, wrong way. But
The other two were going towards the open end of the stadium. UNC does have the time of possession battle in hand, 28-35 to 27-45. Hampton will almost certainly be getting the football here. Wide receiver in motion. Play action. Quarterback rolls out, and he's going to take a knee. And Gophers will force a fourth down. Smart play there by the QB. Just take the knee, force him back to the 26 or 27. It'll be a far hash kick for Noah Burnett. From the 27, that is a 44-yard field goal. Minute 48, Gophers now have one timeout remaining. So there's some miracle that could be had here in Minneapolis if Burnett does end up making this kick. If he does not, the Golden Gophers will take over on downs. Most likely will run the ball 3 times and either run out the clock or give it back to UNC. Boy, this would be a heroic performance from Noah Burnett. Graduate student out of Raleigh, North Carolina, hometown kid. Kicks right-footed. The holder, Magenes, awaits the snap. Spencer Triplett will give it to him. Snap. Kick up. And through. Man, is Noah Burnett automatic.
Now here's going to be the first real Gopher test for Max Brosmer. Minute 44 left, one timeout. Can they get down the field and try a field goal?
6 plays, 48 yards, just a minute and 56 off the clock. And the Gophers have their work cut out for them.
You know, we did see it last year in the home opener against Nebraska. Gophers and Ethan Kaliak-Manis leading a drive down the field to end up getting a Dragon Kesich field goal on the far side. Can it happen again?
I mean, all 4 field goals for Burnett coming in the second half. 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Doesn't matter what distance he's kicking them at. Doesn't matter what place he's kicking them at. He's been automatic. The very definition of it. He'll boot it away from the 35. Actually, that's their place kicker, Liam Boyd. Transferred from Clemson. He's a sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina. Runs up. Kick is away. That's way too far for Quentin Redding. Touchback and at the 25. Dragon Kesich will most likely need to be called upon later on in this drive should it continue. Gophers huddle up and send Max Brosmer out on the field. He's going to have to do it a lot with his arm. UNC's pass defense will have its hands full for the first time today.
Kesich, of course, his longest field goal, which he's done twice, is 54 yards. So the Gophers would have to get around to the 35.
Brosmer dropping back, launching downfield, has Jackson. That's pass interference. 2 flags fly. And Daniel Jackson on the deep route was open. UNC man got there early. That'll help.
That's a brilliant play call just to make the defense make a play, and they certainly did not make the right play.
That's Marcus Allen, his second pass interference penalty. The Gophers get it now to the 40, minute 37. So from the 40-yard line, they've got to advance it roughly 25 yards to get inside Dragan Kesic's range. Brosmer, snap. Pressure from the backside, almost sacked. Great catch on the outside. Brockington. No, that's Elijah Spencer breaking a couple moves across the 40, fighting for more yards down to the 39. What a catch by Elijah Spencer, like a whirling dervish out there.
What a move once he got the catch to have the awareness to keep going. And this almost certainly will lead to the Gophers running as they still have one timeout left.
Clock winds, minute 20. They'd love to get closer. Brosmer passing again. Fires left side, caught, and slides down inbounds. Great, smart play there by Daniel Jackson.
And now we can see the confidence starting to build with Max Brosmer. He's really getting into a rhythm here. He's just taking over this offense. He's just communicating, letting everything out. And this is something we've been missing from Minnesota Golden Gophers quarterbacks since Tanner Morgan.
2nd and 2 on the 32. UNC on their heels a bit. Brosmer hands it off. Major up the right side. He's got green grass, but there's a flag in the backfield.
No.
Crowd's cheering, but that's gotta be a holding call. Terrible, terrible time.
Oh my goodness. At the most crucial times as well.
That's Quinn Carroll. Or excuse me, Tyler Cooper. Great run by Omari Hampton, excuse me, by Marcus Major. That was almost going to be his longest of the night. 14-yard gain, and they're going to have to back way up. Out of field goal range now, in fact. Crucial penalty there. 2nd and 12 on the 42. Still have time. Brosmer dropping back, looking over the middle now. Hauled in, Nick Callerup. Or excuse me, that's not Nick Callerup, that's Jamison Gears. Over the middle of the field now, 3rd down and 4.
Still 30 seconds on the clock. They have enough time for another play here.
Brosmer directing traffic.
He's got to go.
Needs to get a play off. 19 seconds. Gets the snap, gives it to Major. Up the middle. He does have the 1st down. 13 seconds remaining, clock will stop. PJ Flex says get up and clock the ball.
Should have time
Clock
for
will
one more
wind.
play.
Brosmer snaps and spikes it, 9 seconds.
Now do you kick it or do you try to get another play?
That is the decision.
Brosmer looking cool and confident down there. Man, do you love to see that, especially after all the ups and downs he's been through today. Man, is it so good to see him directing this offense, being the leader that we were informed through practice camp that he was.
This would be about 46 from where the ball spotted on the 29. The Gophers bringing in a heavy package. I think that they're just going to run this with Marcus Major, try and get it to a spot where Kesich likes. Snap, gives it to Major, cuts up, and gets about a yard to the 28. Gophers call a timeout with 4 seconds remaining. And this game now hangs in the balance of number 99, Dragan Kesich. From the 29-yard line, this will be a 46-yard attempt for the win. He's hit from this distance before, has made one and missed one tonight.
Both on this side as well, going towards the short side of the bleachers.
I'm guessing that UNC will try and
ice him.
They have not used a timeout this entire game.
No, they have not. Haven't needed to.
Interestingly enough, Dragan absolutely has the leg to get there. The question is, has that earlier miss shaken him? This is not an easy kick by any means. 46 is above average for a college kicker.
But he has done it before.
Dragan Kesic on to attempt the field goal. UNC thus far letting him go. Lines it up. 2 steps, and now another step back. Crawford the hold. Timeout. UNC waits till the last possible moment to ice Kesic.
I mean, we expected the ice call. We expected it.
It's the All-State Good Hands net just behind the open end of the stadium.
Kesic looking cool as a cucumber down there doing his practice kicks.
What a change of events. It seemed like the Golden Gophers needed a Max Brosmer miracle. He led them on a strong drive, of course, undone by that holding call. But throwing the deep ball to Daniel Jackson, getting a big pass interference gain, and then confidently running the offense in hurry-up mode.
And a heck of a catch there by Gears. That last catch that really over the middle just secured field goal position. How crucial was that?
We'll do it again. Kesic from just inside the right hash. 46 yards to pay dirt. Kick up, and it's wide left. It's wide right. It's wide right, and the Golden Gophers have lost.
And those fireworks are an insult to injury right now.
Dragan Kesic misses his second field goal of the game, and the Golden Gophers drop game 1 by a score of 19-17. Looked right and stayed right the entire time. It's where he missed the other one. Oh, that's just heartbreak for the Golden Gophers. And with as difficult of a schedule as you have this year, you cannot afford to take losses in games like this.
I mean, the story of this game is just shooting ourselves in the foot. Penalties in crucial moments. Penalties when turnovers were available, missed opportunities on offense, and of course, the 2 missed field goals by Dragan Kesic today.
That's extremely unlike him, and especially the short one. That one you think about, and that's an effective job by UNC. Nothing more that you can say. Their starting quarterback goes down. Harrell's able to lead a drive with a clutch 32-yard throw. And that wraps this one up from Minneapolis. UNC comes into Minneapolis and sweeps the Gophers in their home-and-home series over the course of 2 years as the Gophers start the season 0-1. We'll roll right into our post-game program. Solemn one at that, and just like Tim was saying, 2 missed field goals, missed opportunities, a bad turnover late by Max Brosmer, and too many penalties for the Golden Gophers. 6 penalties for 50 yards. That is not a PJ Fleck-led team, and they should not be taking that many penalties and that many penalties at critical moments. Penalty on the fumble, the penalty on the long run by Major just late here in the game. And
it really just comes down to the nerves, I think, from the first quarter. Because the way that we started the game, Brosmer with the slipping, the sliding, especially when we started with the ball and just not being able to capitalize on anything in that first quarter, really just stunted this entire game for the Gophers.
And then the third quarter, just not being able to get the defense off the field and putting up 2 touchdowns in the second was all well and good. One of those was on a 6-yard drive, the other one on a 52-yard drive. The Gophers will go home in defeat. 4 for 12 from third down is not a recipe for success very often. They lose the time of possession battle just by about a minute. Fumbled twice, luckily got one of them back, but just did not do enough in the end. Total yards 244 to 252 in favor of the Tar Heels. Gophers had more yards through the air. Brosmer with 166. on 13 of 21 passing. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Combined North Carolina were 14 for 23 for 105 yards, no touchdowns and an interception. For rushing, Omarion Hampton had himself another game. 30 rushing attempts for 129 yards, no touchdowns. Then Johnson punched in the only touchdown for UNC on 6 carries for 10 yards. Marcus Major was the leader for Minnesota with 20 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. Long of 9, Brosmer also got his first career college touchdown on a QB keeper of a yard. Daniel Jackson was the leading receiver for the Gophers, 4 for 55. Omarion Hampton had the most catches, 5 for 17, but Jones 3 catches for 52, including that 32-yard bomb late on in the game. We will be back here once again next week, Saturday, when Rhode Island visits Minnesota, another non-conference matchup. 11 a.m. game, so early up and at 'em. See if the Golden Gophers can right the ship and get back to 500. Thank you for listening to Radio K Sports. Tim, how was your first broadcast?
I will say it was quite a blast. So much more fun up here than being down there, because I can be disappointed and talk about it with another broadcaster.
Appreciate it, Tim. Appreciate it. So, signing off here from Minneapolis, Golden Gophers falling 17-19 at the hands of the North Carolina Tar Heels. For those at Radio K Sports, for Jack and Tim, have a great night, everybody.